I respect uh no longer being at work in your head and heart. Hello, welcome. Uh, I've got a few things to work on. I've got. All right, everybody, I gotta come clean here. I've been having another case of the bad brain. I'm trying really hard to stay on top of that, but man, it's becoming a consistent issue. TMA, hello, welcome. Uh, but I'm having a pretty okay brain at the moment, so I figure what I'm gonna do here is we are going to do some art. I've got a backlog that continues to grow, just in general, and I need to get back on top of it, to be honest. It's not like the last hour where, yeah, honestly, don't even worry about that, Garbo. I've got some work for Pitt lined up that seems like a real big fun time. Yes, hello, welcome, Asmillion, thank you. Also, hello to everybody. So this is one of the things that is, like, really wild to me, right? Like, I know all of y'all are, like, working on, like, big, cool projects and, like, doing impressive things, and I throw up a, YouTube stream at 1:30 in the afternoon, and y'all show up. Like, hello, thank you, I'm honored by your presence. Jiminy Crimbus. This is one of those things that weighs on me emotionally, where I'm like, man, the world is waiting for you to do something cool. You just need to figure out what it is. I'm gonna do the commensurate Twitch post, as always with these things, because I am afraid of licensing strikes. It is bring your own tunes. Working from home, you can do whatever you want. Hell yeah. Hey, wait, Mike, oh, hello.
Hello.
Hello, Sanguinary. I'm making a completely unhinged tweet real quick.
I love unhinged tweets. They're the best.
I heard unhinged tweets, and I'm like, man, Roanoke tweets all in the year of our Lord 2022. Oh man.
On the subject, on the subject of BYOT, I myself am listening to the album Wet Land by Hiroshi Yoshimura. It's absolutely exquisite Japanese ambient music.
I'm thinking very dramatically about throwing on some, like, metal shamisen music and just going hog on that. It's one of those guilty pleasures of mine.
Like the Kodo brothers?
Yeah, like Kodo.
Yeah.
Am I thinking shamisen or Kodo? Whatever. I just want
No,
to
I was just thinking
rage
like the
out
Kodo
with
brothers.
some good samurai stuff.
Koto is the stringed instrument that is you lay like horizontally and it has a ton of strings, and shamisen is the one that has rudimentary similarities to a guitar.
Okay.
Like kotos are more analogous to a zither, if that helps.
Yes. It's the one that like ladies would play a lot, and like you said, it was laid out. So.
It super doesn't. All I know is that there's a really good, like, feudal Japanese themed cover of Big Shot here on YouTube, and oh my god, oh, it jams really hard.
Yeah.
Spotify, get in here. We might work on a little bit of extra stuff too, because I've recently discovered some cool ideas. You know what? Actually, I'm gonna listen to the Chicory soundtrack while I do a bit of work.
What a right turn!
This is gonna be a real mellow day, I think. If the mouth tracking is not gonna want to behave. This happens every time I do an art stream, right? Like I have to turn away from the camera slightly, and it's just like, just mumble into the tablet. Yeah, mumble into the tablet. Nobody will notice. It's fine. We don't. Oh no! What did Spotify do? Oh, I wanna warn everybody before it happens. if YouTube gets into NFTs, we're probably going back to Twitch. Uh, if they actually go forward with those plans, because here's the thing, right? Twitch, we left it in solidarity with the folks in our community who were getting harassed during like the hate raids and things, and those have admittedly died down a little bit, right? Like that stuff seems to maybe be being handled without like a ton of public fanfare, maybe. Uh, but if YouTube goes in on NFTs are a thing that is exclusively used to steal from artists almost.
Mm-hmm.
And like a Ponzi scheme. Yeah, nowhere is safe. Antler Noodle is saying it very correctly, very accurately. Nowhere is safe. Everywhere is bad. But if I'm going to choose one of the two platforms, it is the one that is not put invested financial stake in stealing from people like me. Now, Jeff Bezos skims 50% off of any contributions, any Twitch subs, so I'm going to continue to ask you guys, please favor the Patreon. In general, yeah, patreon.com/wobblypython. If you guys are looking to passively support the things that I do, then by all means, like, go for it.
I'm trying to find that meme. It's a polar bear like on just a fragment of an iceberg, and it's just artists and the water below is NFTs. It's just there's nowhere safe. It's like, okay, what is the lesser evil now?
Yeah, there is no lesser, like, that is a myth that I will fight every time. I don't care who's saying it. Like, the idea of a lesser evil was something made up by a big evil.
Oh, big evil back again.
Yeah, like, oh, here we go. It's evil times. There it is. Scratch up a server right from between my couch cushions.
Yeah.
I mean, honestly, like, there's a few stream services. I know that EI Streams, the host of the Shmup Book Club, went off to Glimesh, which is a budding network, and a bunch of people were like, hey, why would you go back to Twitch? And I will level with you, it is 100% discoverability. Right? The folks who are going over to Glimesh, I respect them. I really want to follow them later when Glimesh is a little more successful and has a bit more audience reach. But, like, a lot of them are, like, self-stable, like, career-based tech guys. I am working, like, for a $15 an hour front end for, like, a lock shop at the moment, right? Like, cutting keys and scheduling appointments. All of my work here creatively does support me, right? It helps pay my bills, it helps pay my rent and everything. That's why, in part, I keep doing it. Because to be successful as an illustrator, people have to know your name. Anybody who's been following the NFT thing knows that, like, hey, most of the people who are making fat bank off of NFTs are the ones who are already selling art or working professionally, right? It is not a way to discover an unknown artist. It is a way to get into somebody's advertising structure. Right, so for discoverability, this does actually affect me, the streams, like, in all the content that we make here. So that is why we would go back. That is also why we would not go to a platform like Picarto. Picarto, one, nobody has an account there, and despite the fact that you can go onto Picarto as a guest and comment, I want you to imagine a Twitch stream where you cannot effectively moderate anybody because they are not even tied to an account. Like, the effort to make an account is not there. Like, we're not going over there. I'm sorry. It's not happening.
Yeah, usually if any illustrators use Picarto, it's because they're specifically doing NSFW work, and that is it.
And I have too much baggage to draw banging titties. I grew up in a repressed household, and unfortunately, I am still there. All right, so I've got a piece of work here. I need to crack into it. I need to start working at some point. I know that this has been a lot of monologuing for having co-hosts. I'm very sorry. This will be out of the way in just a moment. Oh my god. I have been commissioned by some friends of mine who have a jar of the old alky to put a label on, and we are going to be making a label for some mead. That seems like a fun time. All right.
I will say, like, one fun thing, and I put it in quotes, I guess, fun thing about this whole thing, especially with Kickstarter getting into NFTs, Iron Spike of Iron Circus Comics.
Oh yeah, hell yeah.
Yeah, so
I'm unfamiliar.
Okay, she has made a name for herself in an industry for herself, publishing um building a whole publishing company using Kickstarter. Like has 21 something Kickstarters, all of
Hell
them
yeah.
multi-million dollar stuff. And like was called into Kickstarter a bunch, and she's like, "Hey Kickstarter, like what the fuck?" And they're like, "Don't care, doubling down." So she has started looking at doing her own service or like setting up her own thing. So she's like, "Whatever, I won't have to give them 30K anymore." So it's just funny for me. It's like a real like surprise Pikachu face where they're all like, "Oh, where else are you gonna go?" She's like, "Anywhere else." So it's nice to see like some of the big heavy hitters just like going, "We're gonna take the effort. Peace out."
Yeah.
Yeah, because it's usually the heavy hitters in any sort of arena that have the least incentive to change how they operate. So it's kind of encouraging to see that for sure.
Yeah, and what I've always liked about her is like unlike a lot of other publication kind of Kickstarters, there's like maybe one or two like print enhancements. We'll take care of that in a sec. Print enhancements, and then any other goal they hit after that is always an artist pay raise. So any extra money goes straight back into the artist. So I've
Yo,
always appreciated what they do.
that rules,
That's
actually.
hella.
Mm-hmm.
There we go.
I'm gonna go take care of that alarm.
There we go. I've been using a lot of symmetry tools lately. I don't know if that is something, but I've been thinking about how I want to do this for a little while.
Seems appropriate given that you're making a label.
Yeah. As always with the way that my work goes, I don't charge for when I'm sitting around thinking about it. Maybe I should, just in general. I do want it to have like a very hand-scribed look, though.
Yeah, I can see that. Some really nice flourishes already.
Yeah. There's an art to these, and I don't fully understand it yet. At least I don't feel like I understand it. Maybe I understand it better than I think I do. But my friends put, good work into this stuff, so I want to give them good work back.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
Also, thank you again, everybody, for all the continued support. So there's some rules, right, that people talk about for streaming all the time, and I find that these rules are often given to us by the sort of person that thinks that you can follow any one pattern to success that'll be universal, right? So I don't give them a lot of attention. But some of the stuff that statistically does show improvements in growth and made that too small, that kind of thing, are stuff like consistency, right? Like having a schedule so that people know where and when to find you.
That stuff
And
is true.
and I can see where the merits to this are for sure. And yet somehow I've managed to get away with being this person that I am. with almost no consistency or schedule whatsoever. And every time I throw down like this, like y'all are here for me, and it is so nice. Thank you so much, everybody. It does mean tremendous amount, and I do pay attention to it, like all the time. Okay, so we're gonna lock that layer in as our lantern. Just a little bit. Lock the opacity. Y'all know that kid from The Incredibles? The one that Bob Parr yells at? You know, where he's like, "What are you waiting for?" And the kid's like, "Something amazing, I guess." That's just been me lately.
But then you like realize it's just you talking to you in the mirror, and it's like, oh, damn it.
Yeah. Oh, maybe I should just go be the amazing thing I'm waiting for.
By Christ, if that ain't a mood.
I mean, that's what got me into streaming in a lot of ways. You know, like, oh, I want this kind of content to exist. Oh, I guess I'm the guy for that, huh? I'm on the hook since I want it. I am the content. Do I still have my sputtering airbrush? I do. Let's use that instead of this more.
Snake, can content bloom on the battlefield? What the fuck did you invite me on exactly?
Oh, that's why. That exact thing.
I'm here for bad jokes, friends.
You're funny. You're funny. It's good.
But hey, look, sir, oh god. I'm sorry, I hate that kind of thing. I don't know why I'm doing it now. Man, I posted cringe the other day. Oh, y'all want to hear about my cringe? Hanging out in a chat with a bunch of people I didn't know super well, and one of them said something self-deprecating, and I popped off. I'm so embarrassed that I was like, "Hey, no, you're good. Nobody would hang out with you if you were the shit that you're describing."
Sorry, like, cause it's well meant cringe, and like it was coming from a good place. But if you don't know the person and their situation, 5 seconds after you're done, you're like, oh no.
I mean, it's just one of those things. I got vouched for by somebody, you know, immediately after, but like, it was definitely an event. I feel like I should apologize, you know, like to maybe them directly, but like I have so many problems just like trucking with that these days, you know? Like it's I don't like hearing people talk Ishmael about themselves. Also, I made this brush maybe with this in mind. This specific piece. I guess one of the other updates I should probably put in content here. I am thinking about becoming a freelance artist, which is a wild step for me. I didn't really think that I would ever get to that point. I'm also unsure how to do it. I don't know that I have the contacts or anything. Like, day jobbing is becoming increasingly difficult for me to like continue to go in and continue to risk being exposed to disease during these plague years.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so if anybody has been looking to get art from me and has been like looking for maybe the chance to get a deal somehow on that, like maybe your time is coming.
Big deals.
Mm-hmm. One of the things that was working really well, just sort of as a vector, and I don't know if people were enjoying it or just like humoring me because that's how imposter syndrome works. Uh, the cats. Do y'all remember when I was doing those $5
Yeah,
cats?
I do remember.
What if I just did that? What if that was just my thing?
Just a regular feature. Or like
Yeah,
maybe each month rotated out. It's like, okay, this month it's not cats.
yeah, Tracy. We can no longer be the self-deprecating people we are. It's hard, but we need to.
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't help you, and it just makes it easier to fail. Maybe it cushions you from the idea of failure. Maybe that's the safety net that I just don't understand. But like, I I don't like hearing it. And that's selfish. I'm sure. Sure, somebody will call me out on that. But like, hey, my
It's a
buddy you're
trick.
talking about.
It's a tricky line to walk, especially when you're talking to people that you don't know, because people do get really wigged out by people being like really earnestly positive, but it's someone they don't know they have no framework for. Like in my experience, just people don't know how to respond to that. I don't
Yeah,
know what the answer is to that. But I broadly I agree. I do think people need someone in their life that is building them up because, you know, whether people realize it or not, sometimes people just don't have that, you know?
it's really hard to do. Also, like when you start out, like when I first set out on this what has become a crusade of like
Uh-huh, uh-huh.
not I don't want to say toxic positivity, right? But like aggressive positivity. I'm not saying like, hey, you don't have real problems, none of your problems are bad, don't joke about your problems, right? At no point has that ever been my message. But like, don't internalize mean thoughts about yourself because they don't help. They do not improve your conditions in any meaningful or material way, right? Like they're not good. It's not good to have those thoughts about you, when you are you. Like it's real rough to do. But here's the wildest thing about this whole journey I've been on. It is the people that say bad things about themselves that are the most difficult to get to understand that I don't want to hear bad things about myself. It's so wild that is the case, but like here I am. I'm a few years into it. I've had to drop a few people. Not like, drop kick or like, violence them, but like I have had to stop associating with a few people because they're so perpetually negative. Or like that's the only way that they know to interact with other people is like through, hazing rituals and things like that. And like I don't I don't deal with it anymore and my life is measurably improved.
Yeah, Antler, I think that it's if it's coming from a stranger, it's harder because like it's like, hey, you don't understand where I've been and like where I'm at right now. But I do think there is value in having a light being like, hey, don't be that mean to yourself.
Yeah.
And it just kind of like getting in and out of. So Henrietta Martin, I swear to God.
Cat troubles.
Yeah. Vom Red. Don't do that. Say that about Red either. I think Red's doing just fine.
One of the bot troubles.
Yeah. That's why I just keep being like, damn it.
Have I given you mod authority? I think I gave you mod authority, didn't I?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
All right, cool. I gave you the gun. So here's a wild thing about streaming to YouTube. Uh, the chat integration. I can't type into chat from OBS. I have to open up the YouTube page, which is kind of like I get it. I don't want external sources coming in either. Uh, but like
That's
I
why I
also
keep my
can't
door
see
locked.
when moderation actions have been taken. So I have no idea. I usually just try to play it excessively cool and not think about it.
I mean, anything I've ever done moderation, like when we're doing the drawing show, has been just bot related.
Moo Kitten, hello, man. Everybody's coming out today. Hi, how are you?
The gang's all here.
Bring it in.
I am presently working on a label or mead that some of my homies have put together. It's got a little bit of an apple twist to it, so I'm putting the apple in there. Moo couldn't hard cut to a picture of Waluigi crying, just hard cut.
Mead is amazing. I've had there was a meadery in
Ooh, I'm
Michigan that was
jealous.
like in it, my friend and I were really into meads at the time, and we wanted to stop by on our way back to the office because fuck work. And then he's like, I found this one on Google Maps, and it's off the highway. And so we pull off the highway. It's like right next to it. It's this like dinky strip mall, and it's like, are we in the right place? Where the fuck is this? And like, cause you can see like a little bit of brewing equipment in one of the buildings, and like so guys like, what are you looking for? We're like, I heard there was like a tasting room here? Question mark. And he's like, yeah, you go through this door and go into the back, and this man has built some Skyrim ass shit in this back room. It like complete with like a long table. It is a room that is completely out of place, and but he has made some fucking really good mead. Um,
Mm-hmm.
it like we were both there, so the only people there, so it was like, hey, most like common meads, like you'll get like an Oliver or a King Arthur mead, I think is like the really kind of the one that you can find everywhere, and then like they'll backfill it with honey, so that's why it gets very viscous. But like a really well made mead is just as viscous as like a white wine would be.
Oh
Like
yeah, I
like
I
it's got a little bit to it, but not like it was very good. So
I got introduced to mead by my Navy cousin, uh, and this guy was brewing it in his own basement,
yeah, there you go.
which was
Amazing.
a little sketch on its own. Uh, but I can't argue with those results. They were delicious, just incredible. Hang on, I need to Google a picture of a honey quick.
I actually haven't tried mead. Like, it's not really a popular drink over here, which is interesting to think about.
I
Oh, you
I don't
gotta.
know why it's not popular. Like we experience this here in America too. Like if you're a mead head, right? Like you are uh part of an elite core of like beverage havers. You know, like it is unusual that like mead is sort of your mainstay beverage. You know, people often ask me like, "Hey, why are you so excited about this particular kind of booze?" You know, you what do you mean you aren't interested in whiskeys or like other things that taste like shoe leather and drink just as smoothly? You know, why is it this primitive honey wine is your jam? Are you one of those weird Viking fetishists? And no, it's because it's delicious.
And also, it will fuck you up
Oh yeah.
fast.
Oh yeah, yeah. If you let it, like it will. Oh boy. Oh boy. Yeah, meat is super easy to make, right? Like oftentimes people make it at home, like this that I'm doing right here is for somebody who, just brewed their own. Anybody could do this if they wanted to. Meanwhile, they don't, and we are deprived of a wonderful beverage.
Yeah, being in a Ren fair will only help you.
Oh, if you're a Ren fair, then and you haven't done mead yet, then ooh baby, ooh baby. Why are
Trucy,
you denying yourself like this?
also Trucy, don't tell me it's easy to make. I spent like some the last time I had ADHD like need to run off and start a new hobby in alcohol, I was doing uh flavored liqueurs and had like a whole
Did you have the
setup.
Skittle shelf? Did you do the taste the
No, I
rainbow
did not.
vodka?
Please.
Are you
Please,
oh
sir.
oh?
I no, I did plum. I tried one with ginger and lemongrass. My favorite was starfruit. That was amazing, and I want to make that again. Um, like I did a grapefruit one that didn't turn out too great, but I ordered like this old like liqueurs book, recipe book from the 70s, and it was super good and it's super easy. It's like Smirnoff, some stuff in a ratio, close it, shake it every couple of months, and then in a few months from now, you have some amazing liqueur that is not garbage. So you can make your own limoncello, um, and
Hmm.
any of the other weird liqueurs, like an herby one. There's like an egg one that takes like a year to make. Crazy.
I see. I see.
Sorry, that was a thing.
Aliasing. Layer's that on? It's on this layer. Oh, it's probably from when I did the fill. That's okay. That we can fix it. It's just annoying. Blackberry mead. Oh, I've had one of those. I'm a big fan of drinks that are a little unconventional. I had a beer once that was brewed with no hops. If you can believe that.
Oh, is that the one where they make it using what is it called?
I couldn't tell you. I got so absolutely schnockered that night off that stuff. It was very good.
Schnockered, man.
Schnockered.
That's incredible.
Well, there's quite a few.
This may surprise some people considering the general wholesome and sweet way that I try to present myself, but like man, I do enjoy me a good rager. let's
It's
get
like a
blitzed.
secret thing. It's called. I'm probably gonna like totally ruin it. A gruit, like a Gruit, and it's like the traditional old way of making beer. It's kind of like a
Fruit sours. Oh, that is
fruit
in
sour.
fact. Sorry, I didn't mean to talk. I just got very
No, no,
excited.
you're good. You're good. Oh, Gruit was swept under the rug when beer purity laws ravaged the brewers of Europe in the 1500s.
Purity laws. I see.
Yeah. Gruit is made including the following herbs: yarrow, bog myrtle, and rosemary, and kind
Bog
of
myrtle.
that's bog myrtle, not regular myrtle. You got to get it straight from a bog witch. Additional herbs are found: juniper berries, mugwort, wormwood, so you can get tripping, Labrador tea, heather, licorice, and some others. So yeah, that could make like a fucking really rad beer.
There we go. That's looking pretty okay. It's looking a little smooth though. Let's dig into this section of clip that I don't spend time in.
You're gonna rough it up. You're gonna age the label.
I think I might actually. I know I don't normally do that, but spray bubble 2 pixel. I don't know. I'm sure that there's a part of this where like people are expecting me to do some sort of like grand joke or like funny piece on it, but like no, really, I value my friends and their contribution to the culinary arts. Oh, that's right. I downloaded a whole bunch of new brushes. Now I remember. Ooh, let's throw this over there. Subsection to put it to. Got like a stamps kind of section. Airbrush effect. There we go. So let's load these up.
This is kind of unrelated to anything, but
Yeah.
what's a good push to talk button? Because I'm figuring this shit out in real time right now.
Uh,
Because
so
I either accidentally end up putting shit in text fields that I don't realize are still active, or I accidentally trigger hotkeys for shit.
I just go chaos and wait until the point where Wobble yells at me for having just like my mic always on and trust Discord to filter the worst.
I've been specifically instructed to be mindful of my audio.
it's for full disclosure,
Whoops.
chat. Anecdote swallows very hard, and I don't know why or how. And also, this brush just seems kind of poorly configured for what I would like it to do. Either that, or it's
Just
expecting
put
me
the
to be
cup
working at
behind
like
you.
an insane scale. Yeah, it's not so bad small.
I honestly don't know what's up with the noises that I make. Like,
I
I'm like I'm like 12 inches away from my microphone. With I swear that like my
mhm.
throat isn't as loud as my voice, where I'm you know
Like
speaking
speaking.
to a person.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's
so I
it's
don't know what's going on. I don't know why the Discord's noise suppression is isn't targeting that. It's
so
so odd.
so my strategy for all of this is my push to mute is alt grave, right? Like I'm opening the Half-Life cheats menu, right? And I just that is my go-to when it comes to this sort of thing. I will just quick mute for a little bit and then unmute again once I'm done making noises. That's why you'll hear me when we're in our group chats and I'm just like, "Oh, I completely failed to do the mute." Cuz I miss it sometimes. But like, yeah, I don't know what the deal is with that with that setup you got there. It's really wild.
It really is just like a Blue Yeti mounted on an arm uh, to minimize some of the vibration from being a typey type friend.
And yet
Uh,
somehow it always just picks up your like drinking noise as though it is the throat mic being used by Solid Snake, while you're sleuthing it up. It's just like, man, what?
like
Why?
like the stock swallow sound effect, like the cartoonish swallow sound effect that I most fondly remember from the luggage from the Discworld 2 point and click adventure game.
Yeah,
If anyone's familiar.
or like Ed and Eddie getting busted for their latest NFT scam. Like,
Uh, I think Trucy has a good idea with the side mouse button. That makes sense. Or a mouse button that does not have a function. That works.
yeah. Also, Hetzel, hello, y'all. This is my meatery friend. I'm glad that it's looking good so far. I was sure that y'all would come in here and be like, "But where's the punchline?" And there isn't one. I just want it to look very nice for you. I think it's a cool thing that you're doing, and I think it deserves a little bit of effort in return. I'll get there. Yeah, the punchline is I love my friends. I am though looking for maybe like a paper texture, some way to age this. Just want the ones you give away to look nice. Oh, that's good then. That's good. See, I at first I was like, I bet they're expecting like a some kind of randomizer joke or something like that. But like I didn't want to do that to you. Can I make a new category? No, I can copies. I'm sure that I can actually like create a new whatever. Let's grab this one. This one looks pretty nice. You may notice that a lot of these brushes are very Japanese. I think that's it.
Thank you, Trucy. Trucy's telling the truth here. Friends are cool. Would recommend.
Yeah. If you like having friends, like, consider be nice to them.
You like having friends? Consider more friends.
What if
And
what
the
if
sequel.
what if in your quest for friendship you were in fact friendly?
Whoa.
Oh,
Whoa.
hang on. back it up a bit. I think I've gone too far.
Yeah, I think I need to need to take a little nap after that one. That's too strong.
Okay, just adding a little bit of interest, a little bit of noise. Now it's time to hop up here onto the very top layer and do some of the things that I love the most. Hey y'all, it's time for the add glow layer.
It's time to light this motherfucker up.
Frid
So
him
to speak.
out!
Can you guys hear that? The clickety clickety?
No. Trust me, I would complain. I want to go on record and in this moment be famous as the guy who will complain on stream if I'm having a problem with you.
Okay.
I want everybody to
down
know.
on stream live.
Yeah, just live 100%. Oh. Why is that black on stream? Hang on. Filters.
Whoa, yeah.
Why is there a
It's
color
like a
key
key
for
layer?
white?
Weird.
That's
Ah.
amazing.
Huh.
I'm gonna keyframe my own skin tone out.
The fuck was I do? Oh! I know what it was. The last time I used the window capture, I was capturing MS Paint, and I took the white from the MS Paint canvas and I made it transparent so that I could draw MS Paint illustrations of Minecraft machines. I remember now. I remember why that's like that. Completely normal reason for it to be like that. Whoops.
See, I had total faith. I was being a true believer.
You thought I was doing it on purpose.
I was like, where's he going with this? I trust him. I trust him. He'll get there.
That'll never backfire.
This idiot's got his stuff under control.
Yeah, and I was gently surprised when I was asked to co-host because that's never happened before. That's a novelty. That's exciting.
Yeah.
But I immediately was like, oh, do I sound so good? Do I sound good? It's like I wouldn't have asked otherwise. It's like I see, fair.
Yeah, no, so I mean, this is just sort of the voice channel culture that we've got. Like, you know, y'all are the folks that are around a lot of the time, and I enjoy spending that time with you. And I was like, well, I need to get some work done, but I want to hang out anyway. So you guys want to come to the studio, hang out? Hey, LK, do you have any opinions about a name for this thing? Cause like, I've got. Hang on, let me dig. Hang on. Send a message.
Unbelievable mead.
You won't believe how good this mead is.
All right, so I'm checking my pins real quick. Yeah, here's the reference material. Y'all sent me the recipe, which is super precious, and I appreciate it. But like, yeah. Oh no. Let's see. Okay, so we need a 12% or 12 ounces and 13.5% alcohol. I think the most important part is 13.5% alcohol must be on the label. So let's start adding a little bit of text here. Also, I don't know about y'all, but I think I've gone tastefully too far enough with the effects here.
Wow. Yeah.
Okay, so this is a thing that must be on the label somewhere. Oh my god, what is this Comic Sans ass font that I've got?
Remember, kids, 13-point alcohol percentage, or like 13.5% alcohol by volume.
It's
Ask
very
your parents to
important.
log online.
All right, let's get rid of the super stroke there. The color, I can just dropper it. Grab that brown.
I gotta say that font is reminding me of sort of uh, the kind of activity books I was given at church as a kid.
Jeez, so sorry.
Oh man, church things are so fucking else.
We're gonna classy the font up in just a minute. I promise you. Oh my god, I am not letting that continue to live the way that it is.
Font can't live like this.
I can't live with this font like this.
Font can't live with the font like this.
I kind of like that handwritten bit right there. That seems pretty good. It's like a crayon has Comic Sans. Yeah, no, this stuff is steep.
Yeah, clearly you're not using Helvetica, so unprofessional ass garbage. Can't believe this. 0 out of 10.
I've been doing some experimenting with things. So it's no secret at this point that like I do a bunch of work. Ooh, I just selected every source on OBS. That's not what I want to do. Like it's no secret at this point that I do work for Arcade Pit pretty frequently. I really enjoy doing the work, but one of the things that we've been looking at is like new kind of like scene transitions and like animations, especially like as I've been becoming an animator. A lot of it has been to serve in making pit art. Really deep brown. Yeah, I think that I want this font to be cleaner, actually. Like, the ink free is cute and everything, but I want it to... There we go! Oh, let's go, gamers. Gonna give it that nice rich brown, the mahogany. There we go. That font, good. That font, good. I like that font. What is that font? Harrington. I think I like it all lowercase. No. Oh no, I'm doing that graphic designer thing and like it doesn't look like words anymore.
Yep. After a bit, you're like, it's just a collection of shapes and nothing matters.
Yeah. Oops. Hmm. Hmm. I don't like the way that that hides the droplet. Right? Like the percentage is a legal requirement. I have to have that on there. It's 15.3, not 13.5. Holy fuck. Good catch. Good catch. Honestly, I just assumed you'd been drinking some of it.
Like, no, 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 the ABV is not high enough. It's mead. You gotta, like, be really hardcore.
I'll probably come back and redo a lot of these flourishes as well. I'm not sure how I feel about the asymmetry sort of on display by them. I think I'm gonna come back here and make them fancier. Yeah, 15.3 sounds like an absolute party beverage. But knowing who made it, like yeah. Makes sense. Makes a lot of sense. All
This
right.
bevy talk is making me wish I had one. God damn.
All right. Let's get in here and grab the lasso tool. Let's yank these off of here real quick. See, I don't like the way that they're touching and things. Some of the other work. I like that those little diamonds on the outside. I think those are really cute. Yeah, it definitely needs the noise over there. Oh, Ace Sprite is 30% off for the Lunar New Year sale? Yo, if y'all have been looking to learn a little bit of sprite magic, right? Like go. Don't walk. Run.
Like a one-time purchase, which is rare these days.
Mm-hmm. I've gotten so much good out of it too.
I need to make more time for it personally, because I do like the stuff I've made in it thus far.
Yeah, it's just there's an embarrassment of good programs and good things to learn that sometimes it's just like, uh, I can't hold all these programs. What do I do first?
Yeah. I've been deep in the blender sauce. I've been having a heck of a time. In fact, like just before we launched, just before the stream started, um, I was I remembered that I'd learned how to make curtains in some capacity, and I was like, "Oh, yo, I made the Red Room floor from Twin Peaks like a month and a half ago. I should add curtains to that now that I know how to make them." uh, and I'm man, it's really satisfying.
It's really
if you
nice
are
to
gonna,
hear about it because like I peer pressure a lot of people to like pick up Blender or like learn the tools that I'm learning because they're good tools. They're like I really believe in the stuff that I work with and like do. And so often, people are like, no, it turns out this is way harder than you were making it sound or whatever. And like to have you come in and like just do amazing work with it, like almost out the gate, right? I'm just like, yup, okay, validate. This peer pressure is real. I keep deleting the ruler. I keep deleting the symmetry ruler. There we go.
it's just good. Like it really is as simple as just following some instructions for a bit and then taking what you've learned from that and just applying it to stuff you want to make anyway. If you lower your expectations and keep your goals like manageable, it's I don't know, I like everyone's different, everyone's aptitude is different, everyone experiences the learning process differently, you know. But like I don't know, for the longest time I didn't think I had any aptitude for this stuff, but it turns out like it is possible to learn new skills even when you're pushing 30. I feel like people after a point just kind of give up, you know?
Look, I am solidly in the range for the character that dies off screen to motivate a protagonist, like age wise, and I'm still picking up new stuff all the time. You know, like let my passing be so cool that it motivates an anime protagonist. Come on, let's go. You don't get that
I
by
just
being
think,
some fuddy duddy dumperoni. Yeah.
I mean, it goes back to the stuff we were talking about with regards to self-deprecation. Um,
We do.
like I feel like people like, what's a metaphor? What's a good metaphor?
Hmm.
I feel like people like cut themselves down before they've had a chance to grow, and that's you know,
Oh, absolutely.
and like I'm guilty of that. I'm hella guilty of that. I'm so guilty of that.
I feel like we all are, to a degree.
But like I've your evangelical spirit and zeal that you have, that you conduct yourself with has ended up
Absolutely.
rubbing off on me to the point where like a couple weeks, like 2 weeks after I pick up Blender, I'm on Twitter like, yo, you gotta pick this shit up. This shit's wild as fuck. Come on, let's go.
Hell yeah,
You
hell
know,
yeah, hell yeah. Let's go, gamers. Let's see.
like to the point that I can go back to stuff that I made like a month ago, and I'm already like improving and iterating on it in ways that are like measurable and observable. That feels good. That feels hella good.
Yeah. Well, I mean, we live in a culture that it's valuable for you to have your creativity repressed, right? Like too many people, maybe to most, business owners, we are all dispensable commodities, right? Like we're there to make value for shareholders. Like we're not supposed to
Mm-hmm.
to get, please pardon the phrasing, but like uppity, and like go beyond your station. Like you're just a blank is a criticism I hear a lot, right? And they'll, announce somebody's profession as though that is the whole sum of their being, and it's frustrating. Especially for me to hear it regurgitated later when somebody says, "Oh, I'm just blank." It's like, no, somebody made you that. They told you were that, and you don't have to be it. That more specifically, like even if you have to be it to pay your bills and stuff like that, you can be more than it.
Mm-hmm.
Like that doesn't have to be the end of your self descriptors. Also, I'm really pleased with this new floofy cloud motif. Very Wind Waker feeling. At least I think. I could be wrong.
It's very soft and warm in a way that's quite appealing. I like it.
It's soft and warm, like that 15.3% will make you feel for a while.
Exactly.
Hey,
Oh, hey,
Hetzel,
welcome, Bridget.
do you have name opinions about this thing? Because I would like to slap that on there, especially since we're about the 1 hour mark, which is sort of what I quoted you that this would take.
Did you ask them like how they're going to print it?
They say they've got a local printer, and they've got they've got that part all done. They just need the art. So I'm
Okay.
providing in the form of a nice .png. So we're working at 4.5 by 5 inches, so there's a little bit of bleed room for their printer to
Mm-hmm.
to chop around the edges a little bit. That's why 15.3% alcohol by volume is pulled so far in right
Mm-hmm.
there. Yeah, I think they have a meeting or something, so I don't know if I'm gonna be able to get a voice or a response from my voice. Let me do a DM. You don't got name? Cause I would like to put name on. Oh, there you are. Yeah, sorry, Hetzel. I know you're busy, but I think this is looking pretty fit to go. Hang on, am I cropped around the edges also? Yeah, like the whole tops and the bottom. What is going on? I just reset the transform on. Transform. Oh, that's wild. Oh, it's because I'm streaming to a 720 canvas. Goodness gracious. Me, Snack Wiglow, professional streamist. Just imagine it. Just a little bit of stretching. Check regarding name. Must check with me, buddy. That's cool. Oh, oh, you like this? Yay! I'm glad. I also do this now. Look, it's down the little tablet.
Yeah.
Welcome, Vox. We're working on a label for some house mead. Some buddies of mine put together. Like that the pattern is the same, but the yeah. Yeah, the core art is symmetrical, but then I popped over it with the ad layer. I also added the soft little shoujo bubble because that is a pen material I've got for clip. I love that so much. It's real dumb. I need to send these files over. Well, actually, I need to add the little square motif to the scales. I don't know if y'all follow my Twitter super close or if anybody does. But like a couple of months back, Red posted a really good wobbly python, and he has this little pattern of rectangles or squares, right? That like make the scale pattern, and it's such a strong graphic style. It's like leaked into everything else that I've drawn, and I need to add it to the tail here. At some
Oh
point,
yes, I remember. I think I remember this one.
yeah. It's my phone background actually. When I unlock my phone, like it's a piece of red art that like pops up. When I'm on the lock screen, it's still auto hearts though. Mm-hmm.
That was a banger stream for sure.
I want to get back to doing the art game, but like I think that the world has been weighing on your creative friends very much. Like
Mostly on my lung capacity.
yeah, because you've got the plague right now, don't you?
Yeah, I think it's clearing up. It just like if I go for too long, it's like, hey,
Yeah.
no. But otherwise, I'm doing pretty good. So,
Just
but yeah.
brick wall and collapse a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I've definitely felt that way before. Honest, God. So right now I'm off work at the moment through sort of a self exile. I was sick a couple of weeks ago, and like I was feeling pretty bad. Like I thought I had COVID. I got the COVID test, and the COVID test came back negative, right? But I have to call a hotline to register my COVID free thing, like results.
Mm-hmm.
And I called it, and I will it's not a quote, but like this is what the line said in summary. We are experiencing a call volume that is so dense you will not be able to wait it out. Call back another day.
Like,
So I'm
I
not
like how they can't even give you a thing, so there's just you can't.
well even if I went back, even if I was like, oh no, I really need to get my work clearance to go back to day job, if the call volume for COVID cases is so high that I cannot get through, I don't want.
Yeah, it just feels
I'm gonna give
bad.
it another
It's like,
week.
okay, you managed to dodge the bullet this time, but like, what about next time? You're front facing too. So.
Yeah, like I am the front facing person for the lock shop, and we do all the locks for a campus that includes a hospital. No, I'm good. I'm a take the extended COVID leave. I just got an extra 80 hours stacked on there. Let's bunker down and like not get COVID for real this time. I mean, we all know that there's like a huge wave of COVID that is like ravaging the United States because our solution to COVID has been just let everybody die. Uh, oh yeah, so I work for the University of New Mexico, right? If any of y'all are looking to get a college education, go somewhere else. It's not worth the money. Uh, but it's the largest, you know, employer in the entire state of New Mexico, and we have a hospital that's attached to the main campus. We do a lot of like medical research. A lot of good stuff does come from it. But like, I work at the lock shop. We handle every door, case, lock, cabinet, desk, everything. I cut all the keys for all of those things now. I could have sworn that I had COVID. I am laying low for, probably to the end of this week, and then I'll try like Friday, Saturday to see if I can get my clearance back and go back to day job. But for now, we're gonna focus on getting the this mead label done. I've got an emote for Raucous to do. I've got a Magic the Gathering card for an old friend of mine to finish up. It's part of a 2-card set. I don't know if y'all remember me drawing the snake with a knife. Uh, so that's a thing that is real. I need to do the other half of that, which is snake without a knife. Um, we've got a little bit of arcade pit work to do, which I've been doing pro bono because I know we joke about like exposure and stuff, but like Smite puts on a show in front of 500 people every week. Like it has gotten me so much work. Like holy shit. That arrangement got me a room at Magfest, so like I'm good. I'm good. I ain't gonna rock that boat very hard. And then I've got 2 animation commissions for which I want to continue studying grease pencil, but I might end up just doing them in clip or something very nice like that. But shoujo art tropes became shoujo art tropes because they are effective. Hmm. Oh, are you talking about the bubbles? Yes. They definitely the bubbles and the soft focus bloom, I think, are evoking some very, very strong stuff here. If LK can't drag up their partner, we might just have to come up with a name, chat. So it's a mead, right? A honey wine with an apple twist on top of it. Clocked out for the week. So I've been thinking about getting that Pokemon. Does anybody know what it takes to stream your Switch? Because I have one and I just never play with it. Nope,
There
come
is
up
an
with one.
option. There is an off the back of the truck option that does work, but I think a capture card is what you need.
Capture card. Well, I don't want to invest that when I'm looking at quitting my job. Although, maybe Switch games would be the target. No, gaming streaming is probably not the thing that drives this channel.
Oh, there we are. It
I
sent
do
a.
have one HDMI. Sorry, I didn't mean to.
Oh no! I was just saying. Hetzel sent over the name,
Oh, it's a Sizer apple mead. It's a cinnamon flavor. Oh, I should add some cinnamon sticks.
and that'll work really well with the cloud swirls with the cinnamon.
Yeah. Now we're pinking
Yeah.
portals. Sorry. I'm so sorry. I invite y'all to come hang out with me, and then I always forget that I am a habitual solo streamer. Y'all
Mm-hmm.
occasionally do need to just jump in and be like, Wobbles, shut up.
Bust right in.
It's a hint of cinnamon. This razor capture device I've never used, just been sitting in the house. I mean, if you wanted to mail it over, we could figure something out for that.
See, I'm one of those chuckle fucks who, you know, will sit down and watch lengthy YouTube video essay content. So I have I am a habitual listener, I guess, is one way to put it.
I spent most of yesterday just mainlining CGP Grey.
Oh yes. Oh yeah, that is a name I'm aware of.
Oh yeah, they're I guess it kind of curls from both sides. There we go. That's the ticket.
I'm sitting here trying to think of a name. Like, I'm good at smushing existing words up to for creative phrasing, but
Mm-hmm.
coming up with actual like a name, like a capital N name.
Yeah.
That's a task. That's a challenge. A quest. Anyway,
Mm-hmm. Developing branding now. Oh man,
A
scope creep on
piss.
projects. Am I right, everybody?
I will end you so hard. Let's see.
Lines, please. Cooperate. There. This is going on the old portfolio for sure, I think. Yeah, we're naming the mead. Chat, I'm looking for suggestions. It's a Sizer apple mead with a little bit of cinnamon. Just a schmidge. Bought it with gifted cards. We're gonna grab this dark brown. We're gonna just drag it a little bit into the reds.
Consonants?
Consonants?
Yeah.
Like the part of
Not a consonant.
right. I don't. I may not know what you mean.
I guess that's a little off from what I was hoping for. It's an agreement or compatibility between opinions. I was looking for more of like um a togetherness or like a harmony sort of thing to where more like a goodwill. I'm looking. I'm thinking.
I mean, in a musical context, consonance is a good word because like consonance is like it implies like a stable harmony, a kind of like uh, you know.
Look, I'm a pretty wordy hacker, but I did not, in fact, go all the way through with college. So like, if I just don't know a
Yeah.
word, like that's fine. It's no reflection upon the word. It's a reflection
No, no,
upon the
no,
state
no.
of education in America.
Plus, like, there are people who have not gone through college who have um much much better vocabularies. So
I'm not owned, says Wobbles desperately. It
you're
is
not owned.
wild to me how many like college graduates I find just in my immediate like personal circles. So many very smart people hanging out with my ass.
I mean, I feel that I'm a dirty dropout myself, to be honest.
Whoa, get out!
I
No,
went to art school, so
art school counts. I would argue that it's more expensive long term.
no, it was a public college, so
Yeah, I got a little bit of college. I shouldn't count that out. I was getting it paid for through a relative's leftover GI Bill, right? And then just a bunch of stuff came up, and I sort of just wasn't able to continue. But I'm very grateful for that opportunity and like that experience. I would not be a cool person to hang out with had I not had it. I would be fucking terrible, honestly. I
I'm
was
trying to
very
think.
close to being a product of my environment.
There's one of those words that is like a compound word. Um, that I'm trying to think of. I think it's a French word where it's about spending like it's a word describing having a good time spent with friends in the evening. I'll find it.
I keep thinking of Link to the Past randomizer references. Like that's what's coming to my mind. Well, they do a lot of that, like as a group. It's part of their collective cultural norms. Sometimes you just take some Link to the Past and you randomize the piss out of it. These cinnamon sticks weren't looking they weren't looking rough.
Oh, community college whips ass. I will fight anyone and everyone about community college. Never had such a better time.
I want to go back, honestly, at some point. It would be nice. You know, I just don't want to live my whole life in horrifying debt. Oh, that looks tight.
Well, that's
Those
why
cinnamon
it's
sticks
community
came out
college.
badass.
How about that's the only part when you're like Googling cool words. Is like,
What's
oh yeah, somebody has to fucking say this out loud. Because there's one called like this word I didn't know, enublius, and it's clear from fog, mist, or clouds.
Hetzel? What is it that Bond says every time that bees happen? Beauty Joe, Beauty Joe. What is the bees catchphrase? Because we should just make that the name of the booth.
You want to get like Hades dork and call it Elysian?
How about I take this nice font that we've got the alcohol percentage in, and I put not the bees on like a ribbon up on the top. And I'm having to name things now. Bees, Beeze, also strong, also strong. All right. We could really quickly make a brush out of the Link to the Past bees. This pen is too fine for my tastes. There we go.
Holy shit!
Ooh,
Bombinate to make a humming or buzzing noise. Bombinate.
Wait, say that again?
Bombinate. Is
Yo!
to make a humming or buzzing noise.
I love that. That's wonderful.
put a
Bombinate.
very faint Nicolas Cage. I can't do that because I am accepting money for this work, and using a celebrity's likeness in commercial work like that is sketch. I
You're
do not
fine.
need Nicolas Cage's lawyers coming at me for a Fun Times apple cinnamon mead label.
Unless he's putting it on a shelf, you're fine. I have seen beer companies get away with things they should not have.
Yeah, I know. I don't trust it. I don't like the way that ribbon's looking. I'm gonna Google some ribbons. Ah.
All this bee talk is taking me back to mouth moods and listening to Wow Wow for the first time.
I also don't want to draw Nicolas Cage. Both of those things are true. I've spent far too much time telling people that they should only absorb good media. Stop giving so much attention. It's probably Tuesday.
I do like It's Probably Tuesday in a very lovely script font.
I might end up handwriting that one. I gotta remember to pull myself in like a grid square there. There we go. This ribbon I like. This ribbon came together. So I think if I take this and I move it down below the cinnamon sticks, yeah, here we go. And yeah, Hetzel, like I don't like walking close to that line, right? Like I understand that there's a whole lot of nuance to fair use and like whatever, right? You know, for private jokes or what have you. But I being subject I would be the one to eat it in the shorts there, not the person that I provided the work to. You know, it's one of those things where places love to say, "Oh, well, you should have known better," and like, man, I should have. Yeah, you get it.
I just remembered that there's Guilty Gear tracks in DJ Max Respect 5, and mm, I'm tempted. I'm tempted.
I don't know what DJ Max Respect is.
It is a rhythm game where you push buttons. Sometimes 8 at once.
That's horrifying.
It's like Beat Mania adjacent, if you've ever seen that.
Here we go. This is the same font. Honestly, I need to go through and flush out my my fonts in general.
Yeah, Beauty Joe knows what I'm talking about.
This is interesting. Where's this outline coming from? Oh, there it is. Okay. For some reason, it wasn't showing up.
Yo, Moo Kitten, that sounds nice. That sounds hella good. Raspberry
Ooh.
tea hard cider with vodka.
Wow.
Bueno.
Moo Kitten, I want to drink with you one day because you sound like an incredibly good fun person to drink with.
Yeah, it sounds like a party, to be sure. Edit. Can I transform? I guess I can skew it. That isn't quite it. I need to rasterize this layer. Oops, that's not what I need. Rasterize. Now, edit, transform. There we go. I think it's distort. Darn it. I don't do this kind of work in Clip Studio very often, so it can take me a little. What about free transform? So I want to.
I'm sitting here like I know what I would do if this were a blender.
Right. I was quietly thinking about, like, I could render the text to Blender and I could paste it back in after getting the correct camera perspective. Like... Let's do mesh. Oh, yes, here we go. Mesh transform is almost certainly what I want.
There we go. Incidentally, if this were a blender, I would use the simple deform modifier and just have it bend at an angle in the middle.
There we go. See, I would just set it up with a whole bunch of fun camera tricks to get the same end effect.
You do enjoy those.
I do. If I want to do like a big perspective thing, I just do big perspective thing. Now we're cooking. Zoop zoop. All right, can I now? Okay, I don't think I can add mesh points now. Oh, that's fine though. That looks okay. That down, just right on top of the ribbon. Benefits from some of the... Oh, thank you, Mukitten. I would like to go on record. I made... Well, not the tail thing. The tail thing... So it's a thing called the Spud tablet. There's another VTuber called Spud. He puts out all sorts of interesting resources. And the tablet itself, and it comes with like a hand, but you can edit the files. So I did the tail portion, like the art of it, myself. And then the VTuber rig, I learned Live 2D, and I did this myself. This is all my handiwork. It's my art. It's my rigging. It's all the things. So I'm very proud of it.
I think I was even around for the stream where you put together the tail as well. Like you modeled that tablet pen in Blender and incorporated that into the ARM asset.
Bang on, yes. This is a 3D model that I have incorporated into the 2D illustration. So if it ever sounds on Twitter, you ever take commissions? I do, actually. I have taken commissions. I did a rig for Escanitz shortly before they transitioned from being a bird into being a anime lady. And I also am responsible for Michaelith's rig, which I feel sometimes I should go back and I should make some edits on that, but I have to remind myself to just let a project be done, or else I will work on it if I've ever. Oh, the hot tub set! Hang on.
Yes.
If anybody hasn't been around, y'all remember when hot tub streamers were like making the news and everybody was all upset about attractive people putting in the work to be attractive, right? Never forget, I am in fact a hot tub streamer. I'm a big snitty streamer. we can also, I mean, we can continue the work over here too. That's me. I'm the Danger Noodles. I sometimes forget I have this. I think for now we'll put the fork in this. It's feeling pretty done. It's probably Tuesday, I think, is a great name. Way to stick it to streaming. I mean, the hot tub streams are fine, what one of the fundamental complaints that a lot of people have about the hot tub streamers, right, is the idea that like, oh, people are only watching them for the hot girl. I'm gonna be real with you, dog. Yes. Yes, they are. Do you think that they are going to come to your La Mulana randomizer stream, at which you suck fat rips through a bong every 5 minutes, and then go, man, these puzzles suck? And that's the core of your commentary? Do you think they're going to divert from finding some banging ladies in a tub somewhere and come watch that instead? No! That audience was never your audience. You will never have the gamer girl bathwater audience. It will never be yours. Ever. It's just not a thing. So, like, being bad about it is stupid. also, as just a final kick to anybody who is ever mad about those streams, how long do you spend at the gym on the treadmill, huh? What's your deep squat look like? Can you pull off those yoga pants? Can you? Can you pull off the yoga? Can you? Could you put on the yoga pants and do the big titty stream? What? Yeah, probably. I'm just saying y'all couldn't make the same content. That's it. That's all. It's a different audience on the same streaming service, and never the twain shall meet, actually. Anyway.
And also just
Mm-hmm.
it's just kind of a weird extension of the kind of misogynistic attitude that people have to women on the internet in general, because like people already think that women doing streaming, like doing this kind of content, people are already looking for an excuse to devalue what they do,
Mm-hmm.
whether they're consciously doing that or not,
Yeah.
like the hot tub stream, like the hot tub stream hate is just a weird extension of that, because the, I don't know,
Streaming was
it's
better when it belonged to the gamers. Sorry, I don't mean to
it's
induce
for
dysphoria or anything for anybody.
it's
I
what
just get so tired. Exhausted even. In this kind of just passive garbage. But yeah, Hetzel, hang on. Before I get too derailed even further again, do you feel like there's anything that needs to change, be added, or whatever? Otherwise, I will save this up, zip it up, and then shoot it on over. Because it feels pretty good to me. I'm pretty happy with the way this is. They're gonna respond in text. I don't mean to cut anybody off. uh, but yeah, if I ever on Twitter just like sound a little bit disheartened about like other VTubing groups, right, and like people who have purchased rigs or whatever, uh, I often just like to remind people that I built all this myself. I am sort of just like a wacky Jim Henson, so like that's the only reason that I'm ever like I want to talk about rigging puppets and stuff and maybe doing art. That seems like it'd be a fun conversation. But no. Oh. Tornado and I will ruminate on the name. All right, we'll put the pin in it at. It's been an hour 30. Barely watch streams, old UGDQs and snack. Yeah. I am that niche content, I suppose. Save as. Commissioners, new folder. Hets. We'll call it beverage dot clip. I like speedruns. Someday I may in fact try to do a speedrun, right? But like until then, I don't know. File, open recent, what do we got? Right, I need to work on the other half of this.
yes, good. I'd forgotten about this. Holy shit.
I hadn't forgotten about it. I've just been laying around in a puddle of my own depressive inability to continue working. The thing about speedrunning is that it seems like it requires a lot of energy and attention. And I lack a lot of that energy and attention. Just in the abstract. Do I have the border on its own? Okay. Let's
Like
duplicate
there's a
Sorry.
it's okay. Like I watch Punchy on Twitch, and his level of care for the craft of speedrunning as a whole, his dedication to acquiring physical hardware to do all the dumb, obscure bullshit that he
Oh,
does,
yeah.
um, the discipline that he has fostered over the years is just crazy to me. Like it always it always tickles me something fierce when he'll be chasing a PB for like a real heck of a time, you know, and he'll get PB by like a significant margin. He'll get like PB world record by like 30 seconds and something, you know, in like the middle of the stream, and he's like super pumped, he's super excited, and then he's just like, okay, let's go again. Just, I couldn't do that. I couldn't do that. I'd sleep. I'm like,
Yeah.
oh, my top of the leaderboard, I'm going to sleep for a month. Thank you. Good night.
Someone can catch up, then I will deal with that later. um Oh, because you just put a big gradient in front of it, dummy. That's why you can't see the stuff below it that you put in that folder. I've also given up on the webcam moo kitten. Actually, that's why I went through all the effort of learning Live 2D and creating a rig for myself, because I took a look at the content that surrounded me and the people that surrounded me, and I was like, man, I can either hit the gym or I can use my massive amount of art skills to like have a better mascot than myself. And you know what? You know what? No regrets. No regrets. I love this. This rules actually. All right, so I'm gonna lock
I'm
this
kind
layer so I don't draw on it. Saying Bandcamp?
no. I was gonna say, like, I'm actually, one of the reasons I ended up dipping my toe into Blender is the idea that at some point, I may be able to uh, roughly mimic the work that you've done with your rig. You know.
Oh, my rig's 2D.
Oh well, fuck me then.
Okay, I did. One moment, I want to zoom in on this and say thank you. Every time, because you're not the first person, you're like the fifth person who's like, "Oh, this isn't a 3D rig." No, this is a live 2D rig. Like I'm just good, I guess.
You have managed to give this thing like a real sense of dimension for sure.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. This is a 2D. This is not a 3D rig. This is a 2D one. Uh, it's the first one I made. Thanks. Uh, well, shucks, y'all. uh,
I was actually gave my partner a link to the stream like a little while ago, and like that was the first thing he remarked on, like, oh, this VTuber rig is actually pretty sick. So
yeah,
yeah,
thanks. I
just
made
to
it.
just add to the compliment pile that is slowly building up.
Yeah. I yeah. No, I would love to meet more VTubers that do their own rigging and like animation and like this kind of work and like spend some time with them. Uh, I I am very transparent that like I really enjoy the Discord and like the community that we've built, because we tend to be like a stack of creative peers that are all like working on our own stuff, right? So a lot of the time, when I'm on Twitter, right, and those like, hey, we should all like do streams together, like VTuber mass things, networking events and situations come around, I always end up being a little bit sad because very often I end up just kind of I want to talk about the nerd stuff, y'all, like very badly. And so often it just comes out. They're like, oh yeah, I paid for the rig. I work at a tech job somewhere, and I don't actually have any input into it. Like I designed the character or what have you, and like that's great and everything. But like, I like doing the tech art. Any one of you who has ever tried to commission me and has gotten to the question where I'm like, okay, where are we displaying this? What are we doing with the art? Right? Like, I I I that's the part of this that excites me, that I'm super bonzer about. Like, anecdotes, you're a music producer, and you do all sorts of cool things. You've been learning Blender so you can like further your craft and everything. Sanguinary, you're like a graphic designer in
Mhm.
general, and like you do amazing work, and like that's the part of a lot of everybody that I just really enjoy spending the time with. So like, somebody's cool backstory for why they're a big booba bunny girl, that's not the thing that pulls me into wanting to do VTubing and like go stream with people.
I kind of liken it to wrestling a little bit, you know?
Oh, the kayfabe.
That yeah, that there is that kind of element to it with like the big players in the scene, which I don't know. It didn't draw me into wrestling. It doesn't draw me into that community of VTubers. No shade, just not my bag, you know.
Yeah. I mean, I know that I'm throwing spurious quantities of shade today, but I'm gonna do it. I don't think that they're like worse. Like their content is good. They're very exciting hosts. They do a great job. You know. Uh, but that's the thing that
But
excites me about people like Ryudo or Ty Tuesday or Smite or Catsworth. You know, like it's different sections. I really enjoy the people though that are like the full package. I'm gonna put more branches on it. I feel like, but
you're a craftsman.
kinda yeah. I like to think that I am. However, my lack of paycheck for doing art may indicate otherwise. Maybe I'm just pompous.
I mean, the lack of paycheck does not, or the presence thereof, or none, is not what determines what makes people artists. It is in that way that people end up turning everything they love into like a monetization sort of thing. So
That's
that's
true.
that's that's not what determines.
That's true. I need to stop ascribing so much value to it. I think I'm enamored with the fantasy though, and
I
not the
mean,
reality.
like don't get me wrong, it's especially like if you've been working like any sort of like other job, it feels really nice and it can work out really well. But also I just don't want you to get trapped in that point where like it strips out any joy you have for the medium. So that's usually why that's like my thing I harp on about. So
No, I
it's like,
think you
hey,
I
I
think you're
don't.
right to keep me in check, because I will be the first to admit that I look at stream metrics. Not in the moment, like I'm not one of those guys who's
Yeah.
got the view count up right now, but like y'all can bet your ass I'm gonna go in there and I'm gonna look at the metrics and be like, okay, it was 1 p.m. on a Thursday and we pulled X number of people.
I mean, to your benefit, that sort of like adherence to business sense is good. There's a printmaker I really respect, Amos Kennedy, who is like an amazing person in general and is a great printmaker. But he also has a very strong division in that he's like, I do all of this stuff because I know it sells. I do these quotes on posters because that's what makes money. That's what keeps me financed. So it is a delicate thing, like balancing the nature of living in a capitalist society where you have to eat, and then also kind of retaining what brought you to that medium in the first place. So,
Yeah.
Moo Kitten dropping some truth. If you've ever been paid for your craft, you're a professional at it. And that's, yeah,
mhm.
that's a fair assessment.
It's accurate. And also, I have a Patreon up, and some people patronize me. Thank you guys so much for that. I don't like to put people on the spot for it, or about it, but like some of y'all have been with me for a very long time, putting up with my strange idiosyncrasies as I become more and more of a pompous art snorb. Getting deep in my
It's
own
an
theory
orb's
crafting.
like a snorb.
Yeah, snorbin. It's been an incredible growth journey for hopefully both of us, because I feel like that's, look, every stream has a thing called a value proposition, right? Uh, including all the streams that will tell you that they don't in fact have one. Uh, and that is the thing that like gets people invested in the work that you're doing, because streaming is work, by the way, right? Like we put a ton of effort into doing this, especially Sanguinary lately has been dropping mad art resources for the sketch and comedy that we've been doing on Saturdays.
And I gotta do our new stuff for our next thing.
You
It's
know.
just it's haunting me because I'm like, oh god. Anyway, sorry, continue.
No, it's. I'm right there with you. I'm like, oh, I should, because like, let's face it, y'all. Hang on. It's been like what, half a year since I've done anything with Subnautica, and there's Larg Schramp like doing orbits. Like I should probably figure out a little bit of new branding there. In general, we should come up with some more in jokes and memes, everybody, so that I can have a stronger, more visceral branding in the market space of the time economy. Blah blah blah. But I think personally, if there's anything that like gives my content any legs, it's just that literally all of us are growing together.
Just totally embrace the variety streamer ethos. It's like there's something for everyone. If you're not here for video games, you're here for art. If you're not plus on video game or art, well, boy howdy,
Yeah.
video.
we got more shit for you. Doesn't matter what you're into. Oops.
I think I might call myself a professional bassist because of that one time I helped out a pantomime pit band at 17.
Damn straight.
That'd be fun.
I think it counts. I'd put it on a resume.
It's funny because bass guitar isn't even my main instrument as well. It's just like, hey, you've held a guitar before,
Fine,
get in
okay.
there.
Local person who can play multiple different kinds of instrument wonders if they're a legitimate musician.
I mean, yeah. Sorry, what were you saying, Sanky?
No, it's fine. I'm just mostly agreeing with Wobbly. Just oh boy.
I was TMA. I was commissioned to draw Wiglo. Hang on, let me pop up the first one. So a friend of mine plays Magic the Gathering, right? Oh, I've got that tree on there too. Somewhere up in here. There we go. And they wanted a snake token with Death Touch. And they were like, hey, I want to commission you, but I have a weird request. Will you use your own avatar for this? And yeah! In a heartbeat. So this is actually a project from a while ago that like I'm just sort of getting back to. I've been dealing with a lot of bad brain lately, everybody. I apologize for letting it finally get to me, but we're going on, what is it? Like this pandemic will have put in the time to like get the degree that I haven't at this point.
It's got a degree in kicking our ass.
Yeah, COVID's got a degree in kicking our ass, and I'm finally just becoming depressed about it. The president recently tweeted about how weight limitations are oppressing our industries, and I'm just I'm so tired, everybody. I'm so tired.
Just yeah, I'm used to a lot of that talk surrounding Brexit, just because
Oh
like
god, yeah.
a lot of the talking points surrounding Brexit are like, oh, we've got our rules dictated to us by Brussels, and they want us to have like, you
Russell.
know, they want us to have like, uh, products that are safe to use, and they want us to have human rights. And it's like, why? Wait, what? What?
Yo,
What?
wait, back up a bit. Back up a bit.
What's wrong with the concept of human rights again? Like, wait a minute.
Like they want to like what is it? I'm trying to think of the actual like the actual legislation in question. Is it the European Commission of Human Rights? European something of Human Rights? Basically, Britain, like that was one of the things that the Conservatives had their eyes on, like way back when the Brexit vote was doing, making it happen.
Mm-hmm.
They wanted to like move away from that and have their own British Bill of Rights that they could charter up just on the fly, I guess. And if it's the Conservatives that are making that, then how they're going to structure that. It
Yeah.
hasn't come to pass yet, but like it's one of those things that they're kind of edging closer towards because more and more of our freedoms have been like gently stripped away, like the right to assembly, like peaceful assembly. That's a thing that's they're gradually rolling back. They're giving more powers to the police to detangle resistance. It's not like things were much better 10 years ago either. So
Yeah. You hear about the American White House just quietly throwing up a 6-foot concrete wall around it? Probably nothing to
Oh,
worry
it's
about.
happened several times, so.
hmm hmm hmm
Probably nothing. Probably don't worry about it. Don't give it any thoughts.
couldn't lift a finger for the capital resistance though. Well,
Mm. Yep. uh,
it's like, oh me, oh my, look at these words that are tumbling out of my mouth. Oh no.
Whoopsies.
How unseemly of me. I'll just gently tuck those back in.
somewhere privately, someone is going, "Oh, here Wobble's content's going again," getting all political, right?
I don't know, like, if you're
Y'all,
still here,
no, I'm just gonna say, like,
no.
y'all do know what art is basically used for exclusively, right? Communicating such and such ideas here and there in poignant ways. Like, congratulations, every artist you know has some hot opinions. If I'm the only one you're hearing them from, well, that's on you, bud. There we go. Sorry, I'm just my Twitter feed is a funny place to be sometimes. I have one of those rare like good Twitter feeds that I very rarely actually complain about. But like man, some of the people that my mutuals find to argue with are some pieces of work.
And I've just really given everything in the last couple of years just judiciously block. If I just don't like the cut of your jib, I'm blocking you. I'm done. I just
Yeah.
don't have it in me.
I don't have
Yeah,
the effort to put up with your shit.
yeah, that's kind of where I'm at the moment. Is that like in the event that I say something that resonates with a lot of people or that upsets a lot of people, I don't want people getting on my case because they can't read a tweet properly. Like that's the threshold at which I will block is like, can you read? Well, you know, it's
Yeah.
like, are you gonna like willfully misinterpret what I've said to like get on my case about something? You know?
Yeah,
Mhm.
Ty Tuesday today was
Yeah.
tweeting about somebody. So Ty is a moderator for a lot of our mutual stream inspirations. I would hope if you're hanging around me that y'all like Arcade Pit. Uh, and like they apparently answered a question, in I assume probably the large Tie Tuesday fashion, where they're big and boisterous and maybe a little shouty about it, like they're spoiler, they're putting on a show for you. Like they are of course going to be larger than life. That's what you do when you're on the internet, making content for people of the internet. But they like crawled into their DMs and were like trying to call them rude or what have you, and they were like, "Okay, what do you want? If it's an apology, you're not getting that because I was not rude to you. But this is weird now." Like, man, sometimes the internet be a wild place.
Mm-hmm. Like Ty scares me. That's fair.
Ty is a large man. Like, I've had the pleasure of shaking Ty's hand twice. Hopefully, only embarrassing myself once. Uh, at this point,
Shake twice, embarrass once.
yeah. Uh, and like they're a cool dude just in general. Yeah, no, I take a lot of inspiration from Ty actually. For stream content and also for just like the way that shit gets handled around here, right? Because like Ty don't put up with nothing. Like if it sucks, Ty hits the bricks. And like, damn, it's good stuff. It's the lesson we can all take away from being on the internet. Real
Like,
winners quit.
like
Or set
going,
their boundaries in a healthy way. One of those two things.
yeah, yeah. Like going back to this guy that DM'd him, it's kind of I sort of get it, sort of, little bit, a little bit. I can understand being kind of taken aback at the force at which a response is delivered. I can
Yeah.
see that. I can see feeling a bit kind of oh okay, that's yeah, okay.
I'll be
Like
honest. I'm only assuming that it was big Ty energy because this is the kind of energy that Ty got. You know.
it's like I sort of get it. However,
Mm-hmm.
streamers don't owe you friendship.
Yeah.
Streamers do not owe that to their viewers necessarily, you know, and they don't necessarily need to be soft and cuddly all the time to, you know, have your respect necessarily, you
Yeah.
know.
It
Like
does
so
feel like a. Oh, go ahead, sorry.
no, you first.
No, I was gonna say it does feel like a thing to where like if you are that sensitive that fast, there's other things you need to be examining. It's not
Yeah.
something else is going on.
Hmm.
Like to the point where the guy was like moving the goalposts as well,
Hmm.
you know, and saying, "Oh, I'm not mad," when he very clearly was. Like,
Well, there's another layer to this that like I say this all the time, but like at a certain point, nobody ever remembers what you said to them really. The thing that people remember is how they made you feel, or how you made them feel, right? So like making people feel good is a great way to like have a lasting impression. But at the same time, like again, nobody owes you that. If you had a negative experience with somebody, right? Like just process it, unfortunately, and like move on. Maybe go out of your way to avoid it in the future. But like, yeah, it's a whole kit and caboodle. That kind of
also this
stuff.
also that like this is kind of a me thing, but I also kind of think that people would do well to just lurk more. Like, you know,
Hmm.
if you don't know what's happening in a stream, 95% of the time, you will find out by watching.
Yeah,
Like,
engage with the content of the stream. You know?
like if it's not explained in the tags or like on the screen anywhere, it'll happen in front of your fucking eyes, or other people will talk about it, or the commentary will talk about it. Like, you know, I don't know, like I get it, like people, I don't know. This is just a me thing because like I don't do Twitch chat a lot. I don't like having extended conversations in Twitch chat. It's not a me thing, but like I do think people acting like incredulous and befuddled as to what's going on when the information is on the screen for them. That's the stuff that gets me upsetty spaghetti a little bit.
Yeah. I
Like, oh, go ahead.
oh no, I was just gonna say, like, I don't have to deal with that very often because it's sort of rare. Oh wait, hang on, I'm screwing up my own shadows. Oh goodness, it's sort of rare that like I'm doing structured content over here, right? That like has a point or a goal, but that itself causes like consternation in people that like bumble in here not knowing. A lot of the time, it's it's always fun, you know, because people are like, "Oh, what's going on in here?" It's like, just vibing, doing art. What do you want?
That's why, like, when I'm like when I finally get around to the new like sketching comedy thing, I want to have like a bar at the bottom or space somewhere that says like what exactly we're doing. So if somebody comes in and they're like, "What's all this then?" I'll be like, "Bitch, look in the corner. It's there. I promise."
Yeah.
But see,
Also,
that's
Antler, in response to the like dogpiling, one, yeah, they did the polite thing and like scrubbed their info in general, but
Hmm.
I'm also, maybe I'm of the old guard of the internet in this way, but if you don't want people to dox you and dump your info all over the internet, maybe you shouldn't be a weird shitbird in somebody's DMs. Like,
I would say
not you specifically, but
he doesn't deserve anything like more than just being kind of like gently mocked from anonymously because hate mobs are just way too easy to whip up.
yeah.
So,
Hey, remember that? Remember that time that Reddit solved the Boston bombing? Let's
oh
not do that
boy.
again. No, let's
Oh
not.
boy.
I don't know. I just don't go into people's DMs who you don't know, who you're not necessarily friends with unless there is a precedent or a purpose beyond being upset at an
Yeah.
interaction that like
Peak upsetty spaghetti. That's the
Yeah.
I,
voice of the upsetty spaghetti all from
Never
now
go to
on.
somebody's DMs mad. I feel like that is a truth of the modern day. If you're tilted, don't go in there. Like, just don't. You will never gain closure this way.
Yeah, that's a skill like people just in general need to learn. It's just like what do you do if you can't get closure in the way that you want?
Yeah. Cause like at the end of that exchange, you know, where the guy's just like upset, you know, and you know, like he's at a certain point, he's just like, "Yo, I don't even need an apology." You know, it's like, then what are you doing here? You know,
yeah,
like,
it's like he fucking started that exchange saying he wanted an apology. Like, what do you do?
yeah.
It
Why?
made me feel bad and it's like I'm sorry.
I mean,
Life does make you feel bad a lot.
yeah, yeah. It's like, man, welcome to being like the rest of us, I guess. If this is the first time you've ever been upset, which it seems to be, like, damn. Mono, very large Discord, used to being in people being weird in DMs. Yeah,
Yeah, that seems like a good idea to like spread that to a bunch of people so you can't have like one person getting really weird.
yeah. I am also of sort of the old internet guard. Uh, my account has a lot of like newness to it. Oh, that looks, yeah, that's pretty good. That'll do. But that's purely because I used to go by a different internet handle, but I was 14 on the internet, and we don't talk about those times. You never guess how much cringe I posted. Answer, it's a lot.
Yeah, I kind of changed my handle to my current one after embarrassing myself in the comments of a YouTube video because I was very pointlessly rude to some some people who made a what was it? What was it? It was some like live performance of a song, and I was being salty about the video quality when I
Oh
needn't have been.
no.
Yeah, and it's
and
it's
Yeah,
just
there's
not
no
and
worth
I,
it,
context
right?
for that.
I was a very embarrassed little. How old was I? 16, 17? Yeah,
Yeah, that sounds about
I,
the right age to be mad about something like that. At
I
least you
got
had like the sense to be like, oh, wait a minute.
I got replied to so hard I rebranded. It's like, oh right, there are other people on the end of this. I see.
Oh
Just
right.
because they have like because they have like a company name and logo and it's like a brand for like a music website doesn't mean there aren't people on the end of it. I see. I understand now. Let's go.
Yeah, I think the only one in recent memory that I've been like uh kind of upset with myself about, right, is I responded to regular car reviews when they were doing their racetrack season where Mr. Regular went to a race car camp and learned to drive race cars, right? But like, man, that is not what I follow that channel for. And I told them, and I didn't do it in a salty way, which is why I also haven't like gone to the woods and rebranded and like been ashamed of myself and committed virtual seppuku. Uh, but like,
Yes.
well, I think it was Roman just responded very politely. I was just like, yeah, no, we're getting back to normal cars, we know. And I was just like, oh man.
Yeah, that's the thing too, is like when they respond like really nicely about it, it's like, now I feel like the bad guy.
I
Damn it.
mean,
Damn it.
it's because I am learning to drive race cars is cool objectively. Now that said, it had been like an entire season of it, and I was tired. I was exhausted with this kind of content. I am very glad that they are back to, just checking out cars. They've been doing a lot of giveaways lately, which is really interesting. I don't know if anybody else follows this channel or if this is just a me thing.
It is definitely not something I've heard of, so
Oh man, regular car reviews is great. They do reviews of cars that are regular, like normal style. They don't find some guys like hopped up Subaru that's, they've turned the engine into a grenade or anything like that, with extra RPMs everywhere. Like they find some guy who's still maintaining a 1990s Toyota and like take that thing out for a test drive, and it's really great cuz like I am never going to afford an E-Mustang. I will never own a Tesla. I worry about paying the bills I already have. I have a motorcycle because the gas mileage is so good, you know? Like it's just not going to happen. And then regular car reviews comes along and they're like, yeah, these are reviews for cars you might actually interface with sometime in your life. And like, man, it's a good channel. Y'all should in fact check that out here on YouTube. Oh, also they write poetry about motorcycles, which is incredible.
okay, that's a bold move I was not prepared for actually.
Yeah, they'll do reviews of motorcycles, and they inevitably start with the Roman singing a song about how we know it's not a car. We know it's not a car. Shut the fuck up. We know it's not a car.
Okay, that's pretty delightful.
And then they'll talk about the motorcycle, but they talk about it. The channel itself is way more than the usual sum of like RPM statistics and like horsepower like numbers and stuff. And usually when they start going down that statistical spiral, they actually interrupt themselves, making fun of themselves for it.
Mm-hmm.
And like they talk to you about things that you might actually give a shit about, like what steering innovations went into this and how that impacted overall car culture as maybe this small sedan or suburban or whatever influenced larger car specifications and like safety rules and regulations, and like how the Ford Exploder, I'm sure some of you may be familiar with that moniker, Like,
Holy shit, yes, I owned one, so yes.
yeah. Like how shit like that sort of came to be, and like why it came to be, and like why it's a big deal, as it were. And just, it's a good channel. It's a car channel for people who aren't into cars sometimes. Sorry, I didn't mean to just like.
No,
Man,
it
I'm
was just funny to
tangenting
me.
hard today. Sorry, everybody. Woohoo!
Oh man.
My brain's stuck. It's like a record skipping, and all it's playing in my head is Tesla-ing my patience. I'm like, is this anything? Is this anything?
No,
Is this
no, that's the phrase. That's the T-shirt you get after you get out of the Hyperloop.
Oh.
I went through this. I went through this Hyperloop, and all it did was Tesla my patience.
I'm into it. I'm into it. I'm into it.
Note to self: can I make this a shirt without getting sued? Probably not.
If you get sued, it would make your career, though.
Although
I
that
would
is
like
the
to
most...
point that out.
No, dude, that is the most monkey paw wish, and you know it, because I would have a made career, quote unquote, but it also would earn me the ire of Elon Musk fanatics for a lifetime.
Curl that finger, baby. I'm there. I can take it. Put me in, coach. My favorite thing about the Hyperloop is that there's not even passing lanes. It's not.
No, I'm surprised they got even the one. I did not think the one that they did have in service would ever make it to service. I thought it would just be prototype or proof of concept forever. But I'm glad it's in service, mostly just so people can experience that this fucking doesn't work. Let's get a train. Get a train, dummies.
Yeah, what if we put some sort of mass transit device down here in this tunnel? Some kind of something maybe with like modular carriages that we could swap out depending on requirements. You know?
Maybe.
Unthinkable. It'll never work. It'll never catch on.
Never
No.
catch on.
The London Underground is fake. Don't test me on this.
Oh, no,
God,
seems fake.
I fucking miss living in London. I miss having access to that robust a transport service. Like having like 3 bus services that like share a decent section of their route, like coming like every handful of minutes. Having train services that go all around the city again at like regular enough intervals to like make it work. Sorry.
I was gonna say, no, that's just the dream.
Like I love that shit. I could like, what was it? Yeah, like if I wanted to get into the center of London and just, go poke around and do some stuff with pals, I could like get on the fucking what was the service again?
Tube?
No, not even that. Like even just the regular trains. Even just, like they have like the regular train service that operates. There's like different companies that handle like different routes, and then there's the London Overground, which is an extension of the Underground, just Overground. Stop me if I'm going too fast.
No. I'm picking up what you're putting down, soaking up what you're squirting out.
But yeah, no, like 20 minutes. I could like cross the road to the train station because I lived like pretty close to the center of London anyway. Just like far enough out for it to be like less busy. But yeah, no, like either a 45-minute bus ride or a 20-minute train journey will get me to like the stuff that's happening around. Like I don't think, unless I was like visiting a residential area that was like a fair bit outside of the center of London, then like most places I wanted to be, I was there in like less than an hour usually, provided I didn't have to wait too long for the train in question. And then shit got better when they added the night tube services. So it meant I could like go to house parties and not have to take like 3 buses to get home. I could just get 1 train and 1 bus and be home in an hour. That shit rules, and I miss it so fucking much.
We got a bit of that going on here in Albuquerque. So I recently went to Magfest on the good grace and benevolence of the pit crew. I got to hang out with them while I was there, which I'm really glad, by the way, because like going to a convention without like the installed friend group is what I realize now I have been doing wrong about conventions this whole time, right? Because like it it was a party, and it wasn't a party just because like I was there with a bunch of people that I admire. It was a party because like I had a bunch of people to share the experience with. Like that was the missing link, the thing I did not understand about cons, basically.
Mm-hmm.
So like that was good. I got to meet Doc, and the voice of Dog left a very large impression on me as well. I think that they're probably one of the least appreciated but most interesting broadcasters that's out there at the moment. You know, just let me plug more YouTube content that isn't me.
That's how, like, all the high tide lifts all boats sort of thing, you know.
Yeah. I mean, I'm here because I really used to like, the text only Let's Plays from the Something Awful forum and enjoy how they evolved. And I just want to be part of the culture that makes things. So, anyway. Lot of them old guard in that lineup. But one of the things that's notable to me about this trip is I took the bus back to the airport at the end, because like I don't want to drag Smite and company away just to drive me to the airport, and it was complicated and stressful and like kind of foreign, despite being a bus, which is a pretty normal thing to be. And on my way back to Albuquerque, instead of thinking about like, oh well, maybe I could take an Uber, the buses are free here. I just hopped on a bus and took myself across the city for free inside of like 30 minutes. It like a comprehensive public transportation system is so good for everybody. Anybody who thinks that it is not a good thing is lying to you to sell their Uber tickets or whatever. And like, man, it's so nice being somewhere where our taxes pay for something immediately useful to average citizenry. Just, thank you, Burke.
Big Berkey.
Big Burke. Also, I've been thinking about seeing how much it costs to rent out the round one here for a couple of days. Anybody ever wants to swing on down here and see what this city's all about? It's right next to a Trader Joe. Start our own convention.
Okay, now you're just like speaking my language, because I'm like, haha, I can get super smash, hop by Trader Joe's and pick up something I can put in a toaster oven.
That sounds like a night.
If anybody's interested, like coming and partying down and playing a bunch of arcade games with me, I haven't been over to the round one yet, but like Albuquerque's a cheap city to be in. Not a lot goes on here. Might be the place to do.
If I can scrounge up the coins to like visit you and visit my partners in one fell clean swoop, then yeah, I'd be up for that.
Hell yeah, hell yeah, hell yeah.
It's been a minute since I've had like an evening with pals, you know.
I miss having the opportunity to like get out and party it up. I didn't realize that I missed it so much, but I do. All right, so this layer can go away. No, the whole. I'm hitting the delete the layer, please. Thank you. And I've got the text backer copy. Go spoop. That gradient back up. Rip in peace doing stuff outside. Hasn't somebody already broken down the Hyperloop? I thought the emergency services were already complaining that they couldn't get down there. Like, I thought that was happening present tense. Like just imagine. This situation that happened to me for real as a child when I was 4. We were on vacation with my family, and we had gone from Idaho over to the Oregon coast. Really, just the east side of the state over the west side, and we're on the beach. I had a sick, sick bomber jacket. I loved this thing. It had a big fur collars and like the elastic wrists, and it had like the little map on the inside of the lining. Like, oh, it was so cool. I still miss it. I wish that I could afford one to this day, but and also didn't live in a desert, so I'd have an excuse to wear it. But I had this itch on my wrist, and it was painful, and I kept scratching it, and it sucked. And eventually, I got frustrated, being 4, and I grabbed the cuff of my elastics and I pulled on it, and it was difficult to do because I was a tiny baby child with no muscles. And there was a yellow jacket with its head perched over my palm and its stinger on my vein, right on the bottom part of my wrist. And so it did what any pissed off angry bug of hate would do in a car full of 6 people driving along a coastal highway, and it took a bite out of the palm of a 4-year-old's hand and stung me on my wrist vein, and this is how we found out I am not allergic to bees.
Well, that was a better ending to that sentence than I thought, so...
But imagine being allergic to bees, and being in the fucking Hyperloop tunnel when this happens. Yes.
Yes.
This is how you kill a 4-year-old, Elon Musk, with your fucking shit tunnel.
Alright, he's like, I'm gonna help this 4-year-old in a tunnel. I'm gonna use the same technology I had for the tube. But I was gonna rescue the kids in the cave.
I've got a series of vertical tubes that'll just suck them up out of the top with my patented submarine. Hey, I'm terrified of bees, everybody. I just want you to know.
That's fair. There's a couple things you should be terrified. Bees, bears.
Yeah, don't get chummy with too many bears.
Like, bears are fucking terrifying. I'll be super honest. No thanks.
How does this look? Oh, it looks bad. Bad. I don't think this is itself the solution. No, those look not good also. I'm just playing at this point, everybody. I'm working on a commission, but I'm also playing. Just adding a little bit of interest to the background. Oh, it's just one massive rock repeated? That's terrible. What rubbish.
What absolute rot.
Just piss.
Yeah, sure.
Jesus.
It's crapple pie is what it is. Oh, there we go. I think that's interesting. That looks kind of like a shrub, doesn't it? Vaguely. Kid in the 70s passed out from carbon monoxide poisoning on a gridlocked bridge that had no shoulder. Yeah. Yeah, that's exactly. Except they've made it where now you can't even be airlifted out. You're underground, in a hole. With a running car engine. Alright, I'm a package this up. Save it over. Snake without a knife. Oh, hang on. This is another one of the cards I've sent to the same guy.
Oh, nice.
My friend's tokens are so good. Okay, I'm gonna get that out of here.
Vaguely reminded of a segment from a Night Vale episode.
Oh yeah.
Today's show is sponsored by Knife. Need to cut a thing? Use knife. Need to poke a hole in another thing? Try using knife. Have one thing and want it to become two or more smaller things? You could try saw. Saw sometimes works, but other times you need knife. This has been a word from our sponsors.
Thanks, Knife.
That's got big Night Vale energy.
Yeah, no, that I was
It was
literally
from Night
quoting
Vale.
Night Vale.
Fuck.
I
Also
pref-
big Night Vale energy, because it is. It's the
See-
tautology day.
This is
Like,
what happens when I'm typing while you're talking. I just miss important component.
yeah, like I prefaced that whole thing with like, oh, that reminds me of a Night Vale bit. Talking
Damn.
about knives.
I'm sorry.
It's okay. Streaming is like an act of many plate spinning.
Thank you. Thank you for excusing my silliness.
Like I didn't appreciate it until like I tried doing a couple streams way back a couple of years ago. Like the amount of plates that you have to spin for just like even an ordinary stream, where you're just doing the one thing. You know, that's a lot. I don't know how Smite does it with like all of the bullshit,
Uh,
like all of the tech stuff that he has going on.
mhm. Smite is an incredibly capable human being. Uh, like just in the abstract, I really respect that about a lot of the pit crew. Uh, there's a cadre of streamers out there, and this is a thing that bothers me on sort of a fundamental level, but mostly as a guy who does a lot of stuff himself, right? There are people out there that have the stated goal that they would like broadcasting or streaming or like doing this stuff to be their full time, right? And then in the next breath will say that they do not have the capacity to learn the tools, right? Like all this OBS like wizard garbage I do, like the zoom ins and like the VTubing and like the hand effect and stuff, like I made the time to do these things, to make them, on top of having a bunch of people that I study from, like the way that they stream, the way that they carry themselves, the way that they build their communities and things like that. Like there is so much work to be done. And so every time I see like the big VTubers, you know, like, you know, the HoloLive, Coronays, the Buff Pups of the world, these people are working exceptionally hard. I am deeply impressed by their capacity. Just like, man, you it's about time we started respecting the folks that like do these things and like just getting the brand deals in place and like, you know, finding the leverage to like make stuff like this big. You know, that's its own set of skills. That's the set of skills I lack in like the biggest capacity. I am not a good business person, but I'm a pretty okay reptile.
I would agree. I'm inclined to agree.
I should move maybe the text snake down to one to be next to 1-1. It's covering up like the only piece of art that's in here.
That makes sense. You spent a not insignificant time rendering the snake.
Mm-hmm. Center that in the box there. Put a 1 on it. Hit OK. There we go. That's better. That actually shows off the bit of art that we've got up top. I want to do a variant of this just on my own time, where it's me hunched over a computer in the dark drawing this image. I feel like that would be a pretty good goof. I wouldn't charge for that one, of course. All right,
Yeah,
who wants to do an emote?
Ooh.
Flipping it wrong here, man. Nice work.
If I don't maintain the energy, I will falter and. Ooh. Just have to keep charging ahead.
We on that commission mission.
Mm-hmm. We're at that point where I don't care so much that like I don't care as much about getting paid as I do just being like, no, this is off my stressors list. I don't have to worry about this anymore.
Mm-hmm.
It's important to take the weights off your mind if they are holding you down.
What's that like sentiment that gets thrown around in like ADHD circles a lot, right? Where it's like it's that picture of Roger from Who Framed Roger Rabbit with the handcuffs, right? And he goes, no, I couldn't have done that at any time. I only could have done it when it was stressful.
Man. Yeah, that is an unfortunate truth to be charitable.
It sucks.
Incidentally, I don't think I've seen that film as an adult. It's one of those films that's classic that has only kind of been in my periphery, and no one has like pressured me to watch it, or like, you know, because sometimes you do get people who are like very evangelical about certain media, and you know, if you are in the room with them, they'll just be like, "Oh yeah, we gotta make you watch it. You know, we're doing it right now. I have the DVD. You know, it was in my trousers
all times."
Say again, sorry?
So you carry it in your purse at all times.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, like...
go ahead.
No, you first.
Later. No, I was going to say, I used to have, as a joke or prank, anytime I had a flash drive for anything, it had a copy of Dead Sushi on it. Just so I could be like, hey, check out this terrible movie.
I do like that idea. We should bring back like flash drives. It's a very... I'm up for that. But yeah, no, like, I was just gonna round off my thought being like, you know, you do get friends like that, you know, 1 minute you're having like an amicable conversation about how fucking terrifying moose are, and the next thing you know, you've watched all of Young Frankenstein, and you're like, what? When did that happen?
I was teleported 2 hours into the future, and I did not retain the movie either.
Yeah.
2 hours gone. That's my problem. I zone out after like the first 20 minutes. Okay. So Raucus has been asking me for an emote. Okay, so it's got like a specific pose to it. I don't know, this feels just busy. Let me send this to both of y'all. If somebody can like relink it for the chat, but like I'm trying to translate this into emote scale, something that's going to look good at 28 pixels by.
Mm, 28 pixels, damn.
Yeah, we're gonna start at 112.
If it's just a face, it would be okay, but
there's like a whole body in there too. You know, let's just start.
Yeah, maybe just put it exactly at 28 and try to like draw what you see, and then see what happens.
My strategy most of the time is to like start at the big 112 and then like scale it down, and then do cleanup until eventually I pull it over into Ace Bright and I end up doing pixel art because I should have just drawn it that way to begin with. I'm trying to say is you're probably right.
I mean, nah, it's all right, man. You know your pattern and how you work, so.
Yeah, it's just goofy and terrible sometimes. I want to put like a joke in it somewhere. It's so genuine and straightforward. We did drop a link to that in chat, right?
Oh, I did not. Hold on, I will.
My unfamiliarity with the source material doesn't help. Oh, just get back at me. We should stream more Chicory. I've still got a bunch of stuff at post game to go get.
Mm-hmm.
Also, I feel terrible. I feel like I keep talking over you.
You're totally fine. I just the delay and everything else, you in good shape.
Like you are in good company.
Mm-hmm.
Like it'd be more of a problem if you didn't care, you know.
Yeah. Sorry, I'm getting feedback for changes, perhaps. I can set up my symmetry ruler. $112. 56 is half of that, right? I think.
Yes. I had to think about it for a second.
This is an art stream, not a math stream. Come on.
Alright, I'm proud of myself for getting the ruler exactly correct then. However, it was four-way symmetry instead of just bilateral. My aliasing one. Just did less. Yeah, that'll do. Okay. Give him the big pointy ears. Make him look sufficiently scary. I think I'm gonna blow the head up a bunch. To give this the sort of readability I feel like it's gonna want over time. We're gonna end up doing sort of like a chibi head. Nice. They're happy with hanging Snike.
Yeah. No revisions is good revisions.
For real though.
Yeah.
I still think about the time I ended up doing like a kind of largely orchestral score for a short film someone did. Thing is, they didn't ask for one, but they didn't give me any notes. They just kind of assumed that I would make a specific style of music.
Ew.
Oh, that's always the worst.
Like, I respect this person, I like this person, but and this was like, this was a small kind of personal project, so I don't begrudge. But like in retrospect, it would have been nice to like, because they thought I was gonna do like a rock band kind of stuff, because that's the stuff they'd heard me do.
Hmm.
But they asked me for a film score, so obviously, obviously the instrumentation was gonna skew orchestral. And then when I finished it, they were like, "Oh yeah, can you do some like heavy metal music for the credits?" I'm like, and this was like a day before the deadline that they had for me, and I was like, "Okay."
Oh my god.
I mean, I got it done in the end, but that's my big story about like commission revisions. Like that's like the thing where that's the thing that was the turning point that made me go, I'm like squeezing people for as many details as possible next time. I ain't having this happen again.
Yeah, I do my fair share of that, honestly. I part of my commissions process is I spend a not insignificant amount of time trying to scare you away from doing the commission. Right? Cuz like I want people that are sort of like here for it, you know? They're excited for the work to like be done, and like I need certain pieces of information, and if I can't like get a hold of you or get that kind of clarification or anything like that, then like that's going to be a problem long term. So I'm a little bit of a hassle to get nailed down at first, especially if I don't know you, right? Like I'm gonna like be a little bit obnoxious just to see if like you're actually, if you know my work, or if somebody just like sent you over or just like anything like that. Because so often I will get people like asking, oh hey, your bio says that you're an artist, like you'll do you'll will you take my commission? And I'm like, I don't know anything about it, can you send me some details? And full on they're just like, no.
It's like, okay, well, you're getting nothing.
Yeah, it's like, then no. I am not going to do this commission for you. Like,
It's
I'm
like, I
not.
hate to say it, that's an entirely different profession
Yeah.
that
Like,
guides your ass or ideation.
yeah, like, I mean, I'm good at coming up with stuff, but if I'm gonna come up with stuff, I'm coming up with stuff for me. You know? I give this nose like a little reduction there. Also, chat, I privately have the Chicory soundtrack going on. Friendly reminder, my streams are always bring your own tunes. Feel free to load up your music player of choice. If you ever feel like there's not enough sound going.
It's tempting to do what I usually do when I'm like hanging out in a voice channel and uh, waiting for folks to show up, is I'll just like go scrabbling around on Bandcamp and find the most moody bitch music I can think of.
Moody bitch music activated.
Yeah, I can't help it. That's just kind of where I'm at. I don't know. I'd love to listen to happy music.
I'm gonna fix these Everybody Loves Raymond looking eyebrows.
Actually, come to think of it, the Chicory soundtrack's pretty peppy. Like there's some tracks with some really good bounce to them.
There's some. There's also some like wildly moody stuff in there.
Yeah, that's true.
Lena Raine does incredible work.
I'd love to like see her do a master class or something. Like if she ever does like a panel or some kind of like um some kind of convention appearance where she goes through her process. I'm up for that. I'm into that.
Mm-hmm. I wonder if they stream their work at all.
I actually don't know. I'm gonna look up their Twitter.
Yeah, see if they've got like a Twitch or something. Because I would tune in to listen to them talk about production work. It could be that they're sort of in the same state that I am though, where a lot of time your own work and your own processes don't seem particularly exciting. There we go. I'll do for now.
I try not to focus too much on appearances, but like, damn, like Lena Raine makes like glasses with huge frames work. She looks so good. I'm so jealous. Cause I can't make like thick frames and big round frames work. I've always gone with like very uh smaller frames and like that are only half on the lenses. That's just the stuff that works for me. But like people who can make large frames and lenses work, I'm big jelly.
Mm-hmm.
Like I'd love to be the kind of person who can pull off circle frames, like circle lenses.
Oh yeah, just
Like
yeah.
yeah, go ahead.
Oh no, go ahead. I got nothing to really add to
Y'all
that
are
actually.
so polite. Ugh.
I want to hear my friends talk.
I go to say something and I'm like, actually, I really don't have much to add. I guess not. Whatever.
Oh nonsense. Oh nonsense. Sometimes just making friendly noises is the only thing that matters.
Get chock full of that.
Just turning into a fucking Legend of Zelda NPC.
Yeah.
God, fucking Beetle from Breath of the Wild is just the cutest fucking thing.
Oh
Yeah,
my god.
exactly.
What a high fucking concept stream that would be. To just make nothing but beetle noises the entire time.
I'm sorry. I can quit at any time. I'm sure. Maybe. I don't
No,
know.
you can't.
You're
I
right.
mean, I was just about to get started myself, you know?
Oh my god.
I'm like
Lord.
legit tempted to fire up my Switch and load up Breath of the Wild right fucking now, just so I have a clearer point of reference. Why the fuck would I do that when I have YouTube in front of me? What's wrong with my brain? It's like, oh yeah, I'll take the
You want
circuitous
to
path.
be immersed in the
Yeah.
It is important. I do need to be. I never did finish Breath of the Wild.
Me either.
I can't finish it. I just can't. Every time I load that thing up, every time, it becomes an exercise in squirrel herding, and I am the squirrel herd, the whole thing, all of it. The entire herd is me. I am just running all over creation and back, failing completely to stay on target. I can accomplish nothing at any given time.
That's the thing though, like I've put a fair amount of time in there just running around, having a great time, doing nothing of use, and then I've just learned to accept that like no, this is just you got like quote unquote value out of the game. You're a fucking weirdo. This is just how it is.
Look, Papa Nintendo took the gloves off and they said, "Okay, you think you can get to the end on your own? Then fine, here you go." And I have played it probably as much as I ever played Ocarina of Time back in the day, and I have just completely been unable to get anywhere. Maybe someday. Maybe someday.
Hmm.
I feel like it's one of those games that like I would need to stream and I would need to say, "Okay, all backseating is fine." And like just see if chat can
Keep
wrangle
you
my
on track.
ass. Yeah, like through the video game. Cuz otherwise I end up seeing like, "Oh, that's a cool rock over there. Oh, look, a mountain ridge. Let's run along this for a little while. Oh, look. Did you know that there's cactuses? Ah.
Yep,
Oh, what's
that's
that lizard
exactly
doing
how
down there 300 miles away?"
that's exactly how my game started and ended, and I was very happy to be doing that. And it's like, oh, am I supposed to be rescuing someone? Oh, whoops, sorry. Sorry, Zelda, you're stuck there.
Yeah.
Enjoy.
Princess Zelda is just like, "What the actual fuck were you doing? I waited for 500 years."
Look, there was some durian that were really cool, and then I had things.
I was busy, okay?
It's like, hey, I know it took a while to get to you, but I know how to cook now.
Everybody
Y'all
loves
heard
that.
about cooking? Y'all heard
Way
about
easier
cooking?
than I thought, too.
How did I just like paint like the entire half of this face on the wrong layer? What the actual hell did I do? Jesus. There we go. We'll come back and asymmetry this later.
We are laying down the foundations.
Yeah, this undead skin tone's looking kind of Joker-fied.
Uh-oh.
I'll come back and deal with that at some juncture, I'm sure.
You want to know how I got these ears?
Break up the pattern there a little bit. Have a nice neutral. No. Hmm. Seems kind of busy, doesn't it?
Bring the string back up. Yeah, that's
It's a little tricky to parse at a distance, for sure.
Yeah, and that's an issue. Let's bring the light in. Help offset the dark tones of the jaw. Yeah, that helps a little bit. I've never enjoyed emotes. Like in the abstract, not doing them, I mean just like the functionality that they provide to a stream. I've never understood it particularly. People are exceptionally driven by them though. It's wild. All right. Let me bake out a version of this. Send that over. Be like, what do you have feelings about this? Uh, where is my guy? There you are. All right, let me just bake out an extra small one. Hmm. Okay. So let's see. We're down to the static emote for Vevictus. Probably make a text for secondary, but I got to get with Raucus on that, so we have to have a conversation about that. I still have some animation work that I want to do for Catsworth, although it's very late at this point. Uh, so we'll end up learning some grease pencil over the next couple of days, hopefully in our own time. Twitch is all buttoned up. Uh, okay, I think I know what I wanted to do after this. I wanted to try to improve something that I sent to Smite. So I don't know if y'all have noticed when I'm moving between scenes today. Let me just
Oh, I know
crank
what
up the
this
time
is.
on this.
I know what this is.
We have developed technology, and that technology is the Luma wipe. If y'all are familiar with like the little fades and swipes and like bubbles and things, and I found something incredible out. Check out when I move from scene to scene here. I've slowed it down. There's tons of time. This will take forever.
Yeah. Yes.
That big one in the front feels like he's piercing into your soul.
Yeah, he's pretty big, isn't it? Also, hey, check it out. I have like this convenient pixelated form for retro games when we get back to playing those. But I have, well, I want to take this wipe, this concept, and I want to find a way to clean it up and make it more distinct. So we're gonna end up doing a little bit of homework here, and digging into. Is my desk good? My desktop audio is still muted, but I think also y'all are muted. So let me get back to the chat. Uh, but I wanna clean up this idea and send it over, and hopefully, with any luck, this will be the way that we get transitions going on Pit. With any luck, I've done a couple more of these too. I'm willing to let a thing rock. I think longer than most people are though. Because I also did this one privately. Uh, which I'm pretty proud of.
Ooh.
Oh, the arcade pit one, yeah.
Yeah.
I'm into that. That's pretty sick.
And then there is this one, which I also really like. Get that flash of Snailser.
Yeah. That's pretty intense. I see that having some utility. I like.
Hmm. Hmm. So I think I'm gonna make one attempt at this, try and figure out if I can find a way to make it how I like it. And then I'll probably sign off. We've been up for about 4 hours.
Oh yeah, it has been that long. Holy
Mm-hmm.
shit.
Yeah.
Time really does melt away when you are like earnestly working on something.
Mm-hmm. I've gotten a bunch of commission work done. I've been studying how to draw the arcade pit snail too. To become better at that. Give me some cleaner snail drawings going on.
Love this little guy.
He's so good. Such a good snail.
I still think about the time like earlier on in my Blender education, my Blenducation, as it were.
Blenducation.
It's impossible for me to not like make shitty portmanteaus. um, but yeah, I remember you just like modeling an arcade pit snail like on the fly, just in the middle of like a Discord stream, being very enchanted by the process.
Oh yeah.
And now I'm at the level where I could probably do that myself.
That snail shows up in Arcade Pit now. In case anybody has been wondering, the sound test screen, that 3D jukebox, and the snail like gently bobbing its head left and right. Yo, that's me. That's me, baby. I did that.
I made this.
Mm-hmm.
I do like I really like that asset. That's like one of the bigger upgrades that I think Arcade Pit has received aesthetically.
And it's my fault, me, Dio.
Hey, Dio.
But yeah, the way that these wipes work, though, just to spill the beans on it, is that they are actually just black and white images, and it uses the black and white values to indicate transparency along its runtime. So I need to muck around a little bit, I think, and kind of like figure out how that works better. Actually, let's just fill a page with snails. I'm not going to work on that at the moment. I just want to
Your
draw a whole bunch.
cooldown is just a pile of snails.
Yeah, a bunch of snails doing different poses real quick. I feel like that other thing is like a project that's gonna take a bunch of effort to like really sit down and do technical stuff. I'm gonna open up Mario Paint, I think, and like look at the way they did some of their transitions. Pull up Kid Pics, maybe. See what I can do.
Whereas right now you're just filling a bucket full of snails. A snail pail, if you will.
Hey.
Yes.
This is why I'm here. This is why I'm in the call.
Accurate. Completely accurate.
I need to set up my tablet, so give me 1 second.
We should check in and see if everybody's feeling good enough to do sketch and comedy this week. One of the dangers about the sketch and comedy crew is I think that we're all the sort of the sort of person who does kind of like get exhausted suddenly, and the idea of something looming over our heads is an issue. That's my suspicion, though.
Yeah, I mean that makes sense. It's I forget, does Red have ADHD or is it other different flavor of brain troubles?
I couldn't tell you which specific one, but I know that none of us are what I would describe as perfectly neurotypical. I have no diagnoses either, so I should probably be hesitant to ascribe any specific labels, but like, boy, ADHD content sure seems super relatable all the time.
Yeah. But yeah, I feel like the best remedy for that kind of I don't know, that kind of weight is actually just, making motions to getting shit rolling again, because like it tends to feel a lot better once momentum has been allowed to build up again, but that does there's no easy way to go about that. It really is just a case of like putting the energy forward to set it rolling again.
Yeah, it's I hate to be the guy who does the like, oh, you're having a problem, have you considered just not having the problem? But like that is how I like manage my own shit because I have no other coping methods. So oftentimes that's like my advice. What if instead of being stressed out about it, you just did it? Right? But it's me talking to me and then I throw myself out of the boardroom window.
Yeah, it's not easy. Like because like I never want to like belittle anyone or devalue what people are dealing with. Like I never want to do that at all.
Yeah. For me personally though, sometimes I just have to do it. And that is the cure itself, to me.
The frustrating thing is that I know that you know the the way to make good brain chemicals make me feel good again. I know that it's to like do it, but like no matter how many times I relearn that lesson, I can't get it to go, you know?
Yeah.
I wish I could be like, oh, I will use this past experience to propel me and motivate me. And no, it never works like that.
It,
Never.
it wouldn't be brain problems if they were completely and easily surmountable.
No, for sure.
You know, they would just be brain. And you know what? Boy, I would take that anytime. It'd be great.
I just can't remember the last time I felt functional, you know?
Yeah, especially with the world-ending calamities that just seem to show up every week. We've got some new person with some new thunderous amount of authority saying some new absolutely fucking unhinged bullshit. And then, you know, you're just like, okay, I guess I'll go back to making .pngs now.
Hmm.
Yep, gonna finish my Blender studies for sure. It's hard. I don't blame anybody for you know, getting fatigued or having problems with it. I sure do.
I appreciate the snail slurping ramen. That's very good. Like I wasn't sure where you were going with when you just had the shape of the noodles at first, but it's very potent. It's making me want ramen.
I'm glad. At first, I
I'm
thought
like,
he was gonna be doing a big barf, but
yeah, no, like that was like I didn't want to say, but like that was a thought that entered my head. That's kind of why I've like, you know, I've surprised myself with Blender and why I think it's part of why I'm so evangelical about it and why I'm so like quick to holler about my success is because it's like one of the few things that has kept me constant, you know?
mm-hmm.
Like when there's, you know, when there's not a lot in going on that makes me feel like a person, you know? And then and you know, having this new hobby where it's like, "Oh, I can do it and I'm making things and I'm like building a skill." It's just yeah, I don't know.
Yeah. No, I feel sort of the same way. Like learning a new skill is a great way to like pick myself up off the floor and remind myself that like, no, actually, you're pretty good at like what you do. Just yesterday. So I don't know if people know this yet, but like Kennedy Cooper is a friend of mine over on Twitter, and they've been amassing like honestly like tremendous success over there, which is great. And on their way like back to their computer, they were like, "Oh yeah, I had a great thought idea," and they bang on my door and they're like, "Hey, I need my expert for a minute." And they're like, "I want to do an Animorphs thing." I'm like, "There is a dedicated Animorphing program." The program actually came before the books, and they wrote the books to the cover. It's actually. And it's just moments like that where I'm like, oh wait, I am an expert. It's just I'm an expert in shit posting. But yeah, I think everybody should at some point feel that power, that rush of knowledge.
Yeah. The shit posting power at my disposal is frankly you know.
You having your Peter Parker moment over here, feeling that great responsibility.
Yeah, it
Here,
feels good.
have a have a plate of this Uncle Ben's. Got handy or just such an occasion. I feel like the real trick to this snail might actually be in the way that I do the scoop. Nah, actually, well, that does drive his expression a little bit. Not sure.
Like I still think about those like love hearts that I modeled and then uh, put dumb slogans over the top of. You know, we've been trying to reach you about your car's extended warranty.
I can't wait for you to start dropping those next month. Your Twitter feed's gonna be absolutely fire.
I forget if I mentioned, but I kind of want to figure out how to like a model a hinge and then make a little locket out of it. Find some like similar to the meme, but with a bit more fidelity. You know,
Yeah.
I think that'd be a really compelling goof 'em up.
Oh man, I hope that somebody does that variant of like finding a note in your locker at school. Where you know they secret it away, and then after school they open up the note and it says, "We've been trying to reach you about your car's extended warranty."
Yeah, yeah. Oh, I should learn how to like animate paper like folding. Like I should figure out how one would rig that up. I feel like that'd be interesting. There's the feel like the scope for you know passing notes kind of memes
Yeah,
or jokes. I should just call them jokes if they're jokes, you know?
yeah. You should. I think all you really need to do is shape key a plane that's got some subdivisions into it.
Cool. Time to Google what shape keys are.
Welcome to animating for VR chat too. They use a lot of shape keys. Decided that this tail is less important than this eye, despite its precedence.
I do like the way you capture like um the end of the shell like above their head. A little bit of dimension that has. I
Oh,
think it's nice.
that little bit of scooping.
Yeah, yeah, a little scoop.
Yeah, I find it looks weird without it. The original art has this really interesting relationship with the back end of the shell, right? In like it does not make physical sense. It's really confusing. Caused me no end of trouble.
Mm.
But the trick to it is that really it's just like one big spiral. And it doesn't have to make physical sense. Alright, I think that's enough for me. Thank you everybody for tuning in while I got saucy about some topics and got a whole bunch of work put behind me that really just needed to be done. We wait for updates and responses from I think a guy who's at work. So I'm gonna go ahead and close up shop for now. Everybody, please, if you are enjoying this and you like the art and you like the sass, or even if you just want to like come hang out and be a creative professional in the same space, hit the follow, hit that, what is it, a subscribe button here on YouTube? Subscribe.
It's
follow.
absolutely a subscribe button.
It's a subscribe button, which is a thing that costs money on Twitch, but it's freaking free here, everybody. I have been Wobbly Python. Joining me has been Sanguinary Novel and Share Anecdotes, and we are all people that if you chose to, you could support monetarily in our various places. And with
Do
that,
you want us to plug those, or are we okay? What do you want to do?
yeah, if you want to throw them in chat real quick, by all means. Or, just
Yeah,
mention
for
them.
sure, for sure.
I don't know
Yeah,
what venues everybody goes through these
yeah.
days. There's so many.
All venues, all of them.
Every venue.
Busking on your street, I'm out there.
Go down to your local Staples. I'm out in front of it.
And I'm on Twitter if you want to keep up with Blender stuff that I'm making. Keep up with my learning process, and I make music that sounds like it belongs in video games that don't exist on SoundCloud, and I'll drop those links in the chat.
Mm. Mm-hmm. Now, where you been turning up at?
Check out Sanguinary Novel on Twitter. That'll probably be where a lot of upcoming stuff is going. A lot of the stuff I'm working on is not very exciting or stuff I can't post, but art stuff will be show up on there. So
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And I'm Wobbly Python. You can support me by telling other people that I stream and that I'm a good dude.
true.
Send them over here to youtube.com/wobblypython. Most people, when they hear, oh, they're a streamer, keep going to the Twitch. I keep getting notifications of people following my Twitch channel. Like, unless the NFT thing happens, like, Twitch is done. Like, I don't intend to go back there unless we get forced out by, the head of YouTube games and streaming coming out as supporting literal, actual crime. So, we'll see what happens in the near future. We'll figure this out as we go. Oh god, Twitter's got hexagons. I gotta go bully some hexagons. Later, y'all. I'm gonna go bully some hexagons. Bye.
All right, have fun.
Night, everyone.